The college football experience week 4 preview and picks episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now. Use the promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on football, college or pro. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code SGP. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use the promo code CFBX on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app. Once again, use that promo code CFBX to save 20 smackaroos. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, play the Underdog pickup in college or NFL and win up to 20 times the amount of money you can enter in one game. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use the promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
Hey, this is Eric Metcalf. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Week 4 preview and picks episode. Oh, we got a loaded slate, and I'm going to be missing most of it. No, I'll be at the bars. We'll be at the bars. Yes, me and a little TCE road trip to Laramie.
Hello.
All right.
Patty, how come you're not joining?
I'm just going to be dialed into the best slate of the season.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I guess you guys are going to be at a bar. You can probably be able to catch most of it.
Oh, don't you worry.
Yeah, don't you worry, buddy. I got a
You have your
you're
ways.
gonna see me with the cowboy hat. I'm gonna look like Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours. All right. I'm gonna come into that bar and
You're gonna look like Dion. You're gonna look like Coach Prime.
That's
There's
right.
a new sheriff in town. All right, and his name is Pick Dundee. Let's go, folks. You're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to. My name is Colby Dant, Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Yes. Shout out to Weehawk because right now he sent us moonshine. Fucking moonshine in a mason jar. Didn't even have a label, so if I die, it's on TV. All right, just had an X on the top of the.
That's right.
That means you don't drink it normally, right?
Skull and crossbones.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I can't wait for part 2 after you guys have a couple of those. Where we get loose.
I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Well,
Let's get it going. Shout out to Weehawk. Shout out to Weehawk.
are we doing this right now?
I mean, I'm not going to shoot this whole fucking
No,
thing.
let's
I
take
got a big ass
little
glass
sip
of
of this.
it.
We'll see if my.
I still got to
It's
go home.
fucking delicious.
I still got to go home to the wife tonight. All right.
I was expecting Everclear. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was expecting the bitter beer
Well,
face.
Weehawk's a classy guy.
He is a class. That is actually
He's not
pretty damn
gonna,
good.
not gonna give us that bottom of the barrel shit. You know
I might just down like 5 of these tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Episode 2 is going to be a two man
You
bit.
can sleep here. I will be back. But be you, buddy. We are joined by a third man in the booth, the DFS god himself. We just dropped the DFS episode for Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning, Saturday night. Go check it out. And we invite you to come play DFS with us. Give it up more. The rooftop IPA drinking, home brew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving, former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
If I get you hammer enough in Laramie, will you do the Doc Holliday tombstone thing where you like twiddle the cup around your hand and you go back and forth and you put it away?
100%. Laramie. There's a strong chance I might get my ass kicked in Laramie. If it's anything like the westerns that I've seen in my life. There's a scene in Unforgiven where Gene Hackman hasn't seen like the other cowboy in forever, and he's like, "I thought you were dead," and he's like, "Nah, I woke up. Turns out I was just in Nebraska." He's like, "I thought, dude. Turns out I was just in Nebraska, right?" Isn't Deadwood in Wyoming, or is that South
Deadwood's
Dakota?
Wyoming. I know that is South Dakota. You're right.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
didn't you say you went to Montana and you were like, you basically can't fake being tough there? Like,
yeah, Montana. I'm clearly the biggest bitch in the bar. Every spot, every spot.
Well,
everyone looks like
you got
they
a
built-
Silver Lake. That's the case too.
Everyone in Montana looks like they can build you a house. You could just ask them, dude. You think you fix this fucking roof right now?
Right.
Boom, they got you covered.
Can you go tame that bull over there? Okay,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why the show Yellowstone's full of shit. You know what I mean? Like I watched Yellowstone. Look, it's Hollywood bullshit. All right, and they even have like the whole crew there. But I'm saying, come on, it's just bullshit. All right, but hey, we're up in Laramie. Hey, if you're up in Laramie, come kick my ass. All right? All right?
I might help you.
Yeah, step up in the bar, punch me in the face. All right. Anyway, guys, how do we feel about a fantastic week for? I know me and NC Nick are going to be on the road.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. JMU's on the road over in the Rocky Mountains too, but you didn't have the courage to follow them into Logan, where you might get a battery thrown at you. You were a little intimidated, huh?
You guys, the Dant brothers. I wasn't gonna go solo. I need some backup.
No, when
we're going into
when you go to Utah, you got to go solo because you never know what you'll join. All right,
that's right. I'll come back with 3 wives. I'll be praying to the
beautiful
spaceship.
state. Love Utah. Absolutely love Utah. Yes, and a special shout out to a lot of people are wanting the breakdown of the Wyoming game first, but we got to go chronologically. But look, Mel Tucker's out, guys. It's official. He's gone. He's never coaching again with Sparty. I'm curious, Patty C. Do you think that is an upper echelon job?
Sparty?
Yeah.
Define upper echelon.
Well,
What percentage is that? Like top 10%? 20%?
Like is that a top 25 job in America?
I think so.
I don't, but
you don't.
And by the way, shout out to Austin Little, hell of a great guy too. With we're gonna meet up with him in Laramie. But NC Nick, where would you put it? Your wife went to Michigan State, so I expect you to completely say it's a top 10 job. But I don't think it's top 25, especially with the new Pac-12.
Yeah, she doesn't
the new Big Ten.
She doesn't listen, so I don't have to lie. If it's not top 25, it's damn near. I mean, I would say it's at least top 30 or top 35.
Number 27 all-time wins FBS.
But here's my problem. I think it was a top 25 job, but now that you add in Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA,
and a shit ton of money into your program,
still, but I feel like they're like 10th in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can look at it like that though anymore, because the conferences are so big. It's not like being 10th in the Big Ten 5 or 10 years ago.
I just expect them to lose more, so that will then move them further down the pipeline.
Well, they're also not going to be playing all those teams every year. Also,
I'm saying, look, if you went to 1990 and said, where would you put Arkansas? That would be a top 25 job, but they joined the SEC, and now I don't think it is a top 25 job.
You just added what?
Yeah.
4 teams out of the 6 that are probably better.
Probably. I would say they're all.
UCLA is not as good as Michigan State as a job, probably.
Really?
I mean, not traditionally, I wouldn't think.
I mean, Michigan doesn't have the same talent as California, and you're not the top school in Michigan.
Well, UCLA just hasn't done it. Maybe they could become it, but Michigan State has been a far better football program for a lot longer.
I just think it's an easier sell. If you're talking to a kid, you're saying, "Hey, come to UCLA." I can speak. I took classes, and I'm telling you that's the nicest campus
but you
I've seen
also
in my
have to
fucking
deal
life.
with an empty stadium every week. A lot of factors. Bitch ass fans in California.
Yeah, I mean that's not a part of the recruiting process.
I think it's part of the program building process and
Larry
like
Nassar,
success process.
you can say Larry Nassar. If you're recruiting against Michigan State, you're saying, "Look what's going on over there." Right?
That does throw a little monkey wrench in their recruiting pitch there.
I just think it's not the best, not top 25 anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's at worst 35.
The fact they're going to have to take the losses. They're going to have to take those losses.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, Washington probably better program.
Definitely.
Yeah, I guess.
We won a natty in our lifetime.
Oregon.
Yeah. Definitely.
At this point, probably.
USC definitely. Oh, Michigan, Penn State,
Wait,
Ohio
who did
State?
they just had? They just had. It was only 4.
I would argue that all 4. I think all 4 are better personally.
Okay. Then that makes it harder. Yeah. That does make it harder.
Well, I've already heard Mike Elko rumors, which let's squash that right now. Look, we want Mike Elko to stay at Duke. Okay, do not even entertain the Michigan State.
I don't think
job.
we can squash that one.
Have you donated to the collective, or maybe do you try to run into Mike Elko at the gas station?
Why would you want to go to a university that has sexual assault issues? It's just a mess up there. Stay in Duke.
Yeah,
I do believe Duke had a lacrosse team issue a while back.
They were acquitted. They were acquitted. Yeah,
that's true.
But Nick, if I were you, maybe you hang out at the gas station by Durham. You see Mike Elko come up and say, "You know what? NIL Collective, you never know if you're really going to get the money, but hey, coach, this one's on me."
I will buy Mike Elko a
premium
beer.
gasoline.
I will fill his tank.
Having a stalker will definitely sell him on the Raleigh experience.
I don't know. I tend to think, they're on the decline. Sparty is.
Okay. Right? But
there's Lance Leipold talk. There's
it's still a super football oriented culture and a pretty talented state.
Andre Rison's not walking through that door.
Michigan is more of they're somewhat regional, somewhat national recruiting brand. I think there's plenty of talent to be gotten there for Michigan State. And I think they're a pretty rabid fan base.
Couldn't you argue though that Michigan State had the success they had when they made the playoff because who was it? Rich Rod or Brady Hoke was failing at Michigan.
Yes, you could argue
now that Penn State was down because of the scandal.
Absolutely.
So now
they did happen to beat
up.
Defending national champion Ohio State, but you're right. Week to week, it's going to get harder.
Yeah,
it's a tougher job than it was a few years ago.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, look. Before we get to the games, I want to tell you that the College Football Experience Week 4 preview and picks episode is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, we're back with another week of premium football. And DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping us in on the college football and NFL action with great offers every single day. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Throw $5 down on any of this week's epic matchups to walk away an instant winner essentially with $200. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. And I can tell you, Georgia State, take the 7. Take the 7 in Conway. We're going to get to it in a second here. Football is more fun when you're in on the action. So download the app now. Sign up with the promo code SGP. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. With the promo code SGP, the crown is yours, people. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite events, they shouldn't be that stressful. All right. Game Time's the fast and easy way, right? Just like you're at the dive bars. All right? You want the fast and easy way.
Every time, baby. Any effort is unacceptable.
to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you with killer deals on last minute tickets and their best price guarantee. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll be having at that very event. All right. And forget planning months in advance. Why do you think 70% of marriages fail? All right. They got to do it on a whim. That's the way it works. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. So, and look, they have the Game Time guarantee, which means you'll always get the best price. In fact, if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, terms apply. Create that account, CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, here we are. Week 4, college football. We got Thursday night action. I thought they could have loaded up the schedule a little bit better. Fail by the FBS and FCS college football. We do have 2 games on Thursday, one FCS, one FBS. And as you know, Conway, South Carolina, the Chanticleers, Brooks Stadium, built on John Daly Hooters money. All right. And they are hosting the Georgia State Panthers. This is the 7th all-time meeting with, get this, the home team has never won. Not one time have they won. 3-3 all time. The winner is going to have shit talking rights for the rest of the year. Coastal Carolina is laying 6.5. I thought I saw 7. I think you take the points with Georgia State. I think you ride the money line. 215 on the money line. This is a great game. And Georgia State's been better. Both these teams have been better than what I thought they would be this year. Patty C, what are you doing here with Big Bird and Grayson McCall down in Conway, South Carolina?
As you know, Grayson McCall, the biggest name, 3-time defending Sun Belt Player of the Year. However, Darren Granger putting up the better stats right now. Marcus Carroll putting up amazing stats right now. They're all over the leaderboards. Robert Lewis, 9th in the nation, and Marcus Carroll leading the nation in rushing touchdowns. They're putting up points in Atlanta, and
we thought Sean Elliott might have been on the way out the door. I don't think so. Not so fast.
Yeah, Sean Elliott, he's holding it down. He's doing a great job. I will say this about Coastal. I guess I'm with you a little bit. I'm surprised they've weathered the coaching change as well as they have.
They look a little bit better than
they're looking pretty good. Nick, what do you got?
Well, I'd say that, records are meant to be broken, and just because no home team has ever won in this matchup doesn't mean it can't happen this year. And I think the Chanticleers do get the W here, but I would agree that it's too many points because I think it's close to a coin flip game, kind of similar to that Toledo San Jose State game last week, where we said it's kind of a coin flip game. I give the home team a field goal, give them 4 points, don't give them a touchdown. So yeah. I want to take Georgia State in the points.
Yeah, I agree. I think I just think you got it. NC Nick should run for office because that was a great way to ride both sides of it.
Let me ask you this: Georgia State, some close wins against, I guess Rhode Island was only 7 points, but
they should have lost that. That was a questionable spot
so
late
maybe
in that game. Rhode Island was driving. Questionable spot in that game.
That could be a cause for concern. And beating Charlotte, I guess by 2 touchdowns, like it's good enough.
Doing that to Biff Poggi means something to me.
That's true.
That means something to me.
They're on your shit list right now.
They're on my shit list.
I will say Coastal is 3-0 ATS.
Ooh.
Does that mean anything?
No, I'm going Georgia State. I don't pay attention.
I'm borderline money line with you.
You could almost argue that means some regression is due, and maybe they don't cover this game.
Exactly. At the same time, that's kicking. I know there's an NFL game. So you get 3 TVs. You can watch all 3. You got a little SWAC battle going on here. I know you guys aren't prepped for this, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to make you answer this. All right. Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs laying 6.5 points against Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Golden Lions sounds like a Chinese food joint, right? What are you doing here, Patty C?
Golden Lions are sitting here at 1-2. They did destroy Lane College, 51-13.
They still got very fortunate in their other. Wait, Arkansas Pine Bluff?
Oh no, sorry, that was.
I was about to say. I was like, wait a second.
That was Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs. Pine Bluff. Look, they both have played shitty.
It's a SWAC conference
FBS
game.
teams.
I love this
Arkansas
game.
Pine Bluff played Tulsa, lost by 35. Alabama A&M played Vanderbilt, lost by 34. I don't know. Colby. Why do you ask me these questions?
You got to take A&M. This is a SWAC conference game.
Pine Bluff just beat Miles College by a point.
Yeah. I'm not talking Sonic 2
I
going
don't know
on here.
what Miles College. I don't know where Miles College is. Maybe
it's on the come up.
Maybe Noah can pull up the Golden Bears of Miles College.
Oh, great name. Golden Lions against Golden Bears.
Alabama A&M lay the points.
Yeah. You got to take the Bulldogs minus the points. I really believe. I actually think this one makes more sense to me than the other one. But parlay, can I interest you in a little Bulldog Panther parlay?
No.
Sure,
What do you got? What do you got going on? What do you got going on a Thursday? You're going to watch Three Amigos again later at night, right? Friday's action. We got games. We got 5 games. 1 FCS, 4 FBS, and we start things off with a bang. What the hell's going on over there? Oh, there we go. Miles College.
Miles College.
Yeah. What do we got there? Where is that located? I'm just assuming it's Alabama.
I don't have eagle eyes here.
I can't make that out. It's too small.
Yeah, we're all
If
old.
I had $1 for every time I heard that. Look,
Alabama. Where? Yeah, look. See, Dundee knows his colleges.
Nice pull.
I've watched Miles before. All right, guys. Friday, 4:00 p.m. Shout out to Noah on the good work. We got a Big
very
10
fast on the draw there.
We got a Big 10 game. These little bitches too in the Big 10 were complaining in the offseason. Why did they give us a weekday game? Fuck you fucking losers. Wisconsin's laying 5.5 points in West Lafayette. Stop it. 6 points according to Noah here. I'm sorry. I should be reading from the screen. I'm not used to it yet. That's ridiculous. Wrong team favored. Wisconsin looked like doo-doo pie against Georgia Southern. I don't know how the hell they won by 21. Ridiculous.
You consider Purdue's losses, Fresno and Syracuse. Those are two of the better teams right now in the country.
And Georgia Southern put up 455 yards of offense. Davis Brin had 6 turnovers? No way Hudson Card does that. Davis Brin's just maybe the guy probably going to be number 1 in my opinion. Davis Brin. So I'm all over Purdue, and I think you ride the money line too. Shout out to Brad. I agree. Shout out to Trevor. I agree. Almost agreeing too much though. I feel like everyone's agreeing too much. But yeah, I still think we do it. NC Nick, what are you doing here in West Lafayette?
I tend to agree also. I mean, it's not like that Purdue's looked that great, but I think Wisconsin is fortunate to be 2-1. They were tied to the half, 7-7 against Georgia Southern. They were only beating Buffalo 14-10 at the half. The one time they took the road was at Wazoo and they lost. And
never even had the lead.
Right. Game. And, Purdue, the reigning Big Ten West champs, they're 1-2. So they're probably, hungrier and they need this win more. And out of the 4 games, I made this point on our DFS show, out of the 4 games Friday night, this is the only one where the home team actually has a pretty good home environment. And that means something, on a weekday night. So give me Purdue all day.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Jamie Hove. It says, put the Big East back together and they'll play on Thursday and Friday nights. That's what I'm saying. We're coming up, man. I remember the SEC playing huge games on Thursday nights back in the day. Stop being little bitches and play.
Come on.
Right?
Big 10 being the Big 10 here.
Purdue. No one's going to know your name. When we have this big 35, no one's going to fucking know Purdue. All right. So you're going to need to play those weekday games.
Get all the shine you can. Now, can we give a little credit to Wisconsin for forcing all those turnovers on Davis Brin?
No.
He leads the nation in interceptions largely because of Wisconsin. Hunter Wohler, by the way.
Some of those are just so bad reads. It's like you're throwing in triple coverage. Now credit that Wisconsin made the plays.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing? Just throw it away. You're at the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Kick a field goal. Take the moral victory there.
I want to see if they're lawn chair interceptions because sometimes he's a noted lawn chair, one of the biggest of all time. If he's given into the pressure and throwing picks, it only solidifies his status.
Who you taking, Patty?
I'm on Purdue.
Yeah.
I say money line. I'm with you guys.
Boiler up, baby. Boiler up. NC State. We got the Brennan Armstrong Bowl happening here. And by the way, that Purdue Wisconsin game, that series goes back to 1892.
Very nice. Very nice.
NC State, Virginia, only 1904. All right, it's a new rivalry. Look, NC State's got a 14-game lead in the Brennan Armstrong Bowl. UVA hasn't beaten NC State in the past decade.
How many times have they played?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is the ACC
3
schedule?
times maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But still, they haven't won since 2012. NC State's laying 9.5. Virginia's plus 300 on the money line. Patty C still convinced Virginia is going to make a bowl. I will lay the 9.5 just because I think Virginia sucks ass, but I do think it will be closer for a long period of time. This will be a late cover. NC State gets it done though. Patty C, what are you doing here in Charlottesville
Look, I'm still convinced that Anthony Calandria is a decent quarterback. I think, the 3 interceptions in 3 plays, something you have to overlook.
42 unanswered, was it?
Yeah, it was a tough fourth quarter there.
Can't blame him on that.
No, you can a little bit. Well, I think you can blame him.
the 3 interceptions
entirely.
I actually think Musket.
And then the fumble right afterwards.
I actually think Musket might start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Ultimately, is that good for UVA?
No,
I think Calandria is better. Who knows? I think Calandria has better wheels, and with that offensive line,
I don't think Musket will turn it over that often, though.
Calandria 4 interceptions, but 3 were on, like we said, 3 consecutive passes.
But 3 were on wheel routes.
Oh, those are touchdowns. He only throws touchdowns on wheel routes. I don't know. The hook is too much. I think Virginia covers
can
it.
we talk,
At home,
can we talk about how funny that was that I highlighted the wheel route success against JMU and even Mike Loxley. So if you just listen to the college football experience, I said, if you guard the wheel route, this guy can't do anything. And sure enough, first drive of the game, it's like wheel route touchdown. I'm like, and no one's there. It's like he's fucking wide open. It's like, come on, Loxley.
Loxley's a recruiter. He's not an in-game kind of guy.
Someone tweeted
me saying, a film watcher.
Someone tweeted me saying Mike Loxley hasn't touched a remote in 14 years. That cracked me up. Well, NC Nick, what are you doing here in good old Charlottesville?
Well, in general, NC State is not a team that you want to lay a bunch of points on the road. But for example, see that UConn game in week 1 where UConn covered, but that was more like 17 or so. The stat that I like here is that UVA has been outscored this year in the fourth quarter, 49-3. So that plays into Colby's point perfectly, where it's kind of a close game, but towards the end, NC State pulls away, they win, they cover. Give me the Wolfpack.
Well, and what is bad coaching? Not making adjustments. You know what I mean?
Or just not having depth. You could. Yeah, it's funny because they're in the same exact position that Deion Sanders is, and I'm sure they'll face some of that. Actually, Deion Sanders has far better skill position talent, but Deion Sanders struggled last week against far inferior talent, and you could blame that on coaching. But
he won the game though.
He won the game.
UVA hasn't won a game yet, buddy.
No,
not comparable.
It's because they had to play JMU. Look, sorry, the JMU Colorado State similar competition
and tough game against Maryland. Yeah, I think you got to lay the points. You're taking the points, buddy?
I am taking the points. I think the hook's too much, but I can see what the situation you guys just described playing out pretty easily too.
Well, we move along to we got a barn burner going on. This series goes back to 1893. And I know you guys know nothing about this game, but that's part of the fun, is because we have where the hell is my sheet? Where the hell's my spread? Harvard is laying 14 against Brown. We got Ivy League Maction. I'm saying Maction because it's on Friday night. Harvard's laying 14. This is a series that's been dominated by the Crimson. Friday night Ivy. Look, this is a great opportunity to make money. But yes, Harvard has really dominated this series. They have a 59 game lead and Brown hasn't won since 2010. So I will lay the 14, but Brown just won a big rivalry game against Bryant, but 14 points. NC Nick, what are you doing in the Ivy?
I got to take the points, man. Brown coming off that big win at Bryant. They got a receiver named Wes Rocket. Watch out for Wes Rocket. Okay. He's going to have a big game. He's going to cover the spread.
Patty C, you roll with the Crimson. You're going with Brown.
You got to roll Crimson here. Look, most of these Ivy League teams have been playing so long that they're on the all-time win list. Brown not. Harvard's sitting here at number 10 all time. This is an elite program.
And they took a season off during COVID. What a natty.
That's true.
So we're just going to, everyone in the Ivy wins a natty.
That's right. Hang the banner.
Yeah. All right. And then let's go out to San Jose, California, because Air Force laying 4.5 points against the San Jose State Spartans.
Curious on your take here.
I'm on San Jose State plus 4.5. I wouldn't mind a money line play. My big problem is this though. San Jose, their defense over the past 3 years has been the anchor of the team. They lost their front seven. I think their entire front seven this year as newcomers. So I do think Air Force is going to have a ton of success on the ground against San Jose State. However, San Jose State is not Utah State. San Jose State returns all 5 starters on the offensive line. They have 2 good running backs. They did lose their top wideout for the season, but they got a couple other guys. And Cordero's dual threat, where I think he can stress out the defense a lot more than Cooper Lagasse. That's why he was voted Mountain West first team quarterback preseason. I'll take the points, but Troy Calhoun did fuck with me. He did lie to me. All right. He says he's going to be passing the ball more. What did I say, Nick? 6 passes completed this year. Now maybe I didn't check the attempts. Maybe they're 6 of 50, but I'll take the points. What are you doing here, NC Nick?
And Zach Larrier is 6 of 10 on the season, averaging almost 20 yards per completion. So that's positive. But no, I mean, look, Air Force has now won 7 straight games, all by double digits, against some pretty good opponents too. And Toledo just ran all over San Jose State. They ran for 229 yards, 6.4 yards per carry. I'm not fading Air Force.
What if I told you San Jose State's won 2 in a row against Troy Calhoun?
Okay.
I think Brent Brennan
not going to be 3.
Is undefeated against him.
Yowzers. Yeah. In San Jose, Friday night, national spotlight. Look, San Jose State may be 1-3, but at USC,
3 double-digit win teams from a year ago.
USC, Oregon State, and Toledo, pretty good competition. They throttled Cal Poly, which also means nothing. So it's hard to really know what this team is, but I'd say talent-wise, they're pretty good. Air Force, though, I'm with Nick. I think they've proven. And you've been fading them since,
since he gave me false information.
Since the team preview, Colby goes and he talks to Troy Calhoun, and he got sold.
Hey, Troy, this drove me crazy. I was at Mountain West Media Day. Everyone's asking every other coach a million questions. And I'm like one of only 2 people interviewing Air Force. No one gave a shit about Air Force because everyone's a bunch of fucking hacks that don't care about the service academies, right? I'm sitting over there praising him. I say, dude, I think you're one of the best coaches in football. And then I'm thinking he's giving me a nugget, and he's not. He's not. All right.
Hey, the Air Force the military relies on deception.
Yeah.
You got to see.
I am. That's what I'm saying.
One last thing, short week for San Jose State, only a 6-day turnaround. Meanwhile, Air Force played last Friday, so a normal week for them. Does one extra day matter?
It might.
No.
It might.
Nah.
4.5. It's close. I'm going to take the Falcons.
I'm on Sparty. Let's go, Brent Brennan. Boise State is heading into the snapper. Nobody goes into the snapper and gets a dub unless you're UCLA or perhaps Boise State. Boise State's laying 7. Man, this is a tricky game because both offenses have been ass this season. Halani, I don't think is playing. Taylon Green, he's been iffy. You see the raw skills from play to play, but you also see, very raw skills as in like
4
terrible
interceptions.
Yeah. The interception in the red zone against UCF was bad.
At least he's young. What is Iron Maiden's excuse? Because
both
these quarterbacks have 3 touchdowns to 4 interceptions on the year. So both have been a little shaky, but Iron Maiden, I think, is a senior.
Yeah. And this is a series that goes back to only 2011, but it's all tied up. I'm surprised by that. They're dead even. Rocky Long had some success against the Broncos. You know what? I'm going to lay the points though. I think at the end of the day, Boise gets this done. NC Nick, what are you doing here at the snapper?
Yeah, maybe my least favorite play of the day, but ultimately San Diego State should be 1-3. They should have lost to Ohio if Rourke plays the whole game. And if they're 1-3, their one win would have been a 36-28 win over Idaho State.
Who was
since
0-3.
then?
Yeah.
And since then, Idaho State lost to Utah State 78-28.
Yeah.
And 41-17 to Northern Iowa. So I'm
Chris
on Boise
Peterson
here.
Chris Peterson to San Diego State.
I like
maybe so, but I think last week was a get-right game for Boise, playing North Dakota after a couple tough losses. And I think this game's close, but they pull away, kind of similar to what NC State's going to do to UVA.
Patty C, what are you doing here?
I'm right there with you. I mean, UCF's looking pretty damn good. This was when Plumlee was healthy. They kept it really close, 2-point loss there. And the Washington score is deceiving. They were in that game for a lot longer. I think this is a really easy play. I'm all over Boise.
Yeah. All right, look, we're going to get to Saturday's action, but before we get to Saturday's action, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Fantasy is a way to play along your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times the amount of money you enter in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real money. And they're giving away $100,000 on Sundays. All right. And that continues this week. They got a total of $2 million in prizes all season long, 100K in prizes this week, 10K to 10 different people this week as well. New sweepstakes every week of the NFL season. And look, this week's higher lower is Tyreek Hill's receiving yards at 91.5. Are you going to go higher? Are you going to go lower? Even if you're wrong, you still have a chance to win the 10K. So what are you doing, folks? So watch along, make picks, and maybe make a little extra cash over on Underdog's mobile app. UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. And look, stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use the SGPN promo code to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back on the college football experience as we jump over to, we got a barn burner Saturday morning. You feed me up one of those?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of barn burners.
Yeah. The Army Black Knights, fresh off a dub down in San Antonio. Heading from one filthy dome to another filthy dome. To upstate New York. I don't know what the hell they call the stadium anymore. It sucks. They should bring back the old outdoor stadium.
The JMA Wireless Dome.
Yeah. Archbold Stadium needs to come back. Army is playing Syracuse though, and Syracuse looks like the best team in the nation. Rocky Long. Speaking of that transition, the Shredder, Garrett Schrader. He lost Rocksteady to the NFL and Sean Tucker, but Bebop he lost as well. Aronde Gatson is out for the season.
Shredder can do it on it. He's still got the foot soldiers.
They're rolling along with the foot soldiers because Syracuse minus 13.5. I struggled with this one, man. Because Army's doing this cha-cha-cha shotgun offense that worked.
They looked good last week.
They did, but no Captain Harris.
I like Bryson Daly though.
It's you used to like Carson Daly a lot too,
and Bryson Daly too.
Yeah, that's true. You even painted your pinky nail, right?
Hey, is that something Bryson Daly would do?
No, Carson Daly.
Oh god.
Surprised you didn't know that.
How would you know that?
Yeah, it's a big going around on the interwebs. All right, Army is getting 13.5. I'm gonna lay it. I think they're baiting you. I think Rocky Long is gonna dial up a defense to shut down this cockanimi bullshit shotgun attack. That makes me. I have a barf bag every time I watch Army football, not running the triple option.
Colby has to be taken with a grain of salt regarding all Service Academy football this year because he is on a crusade to prove that the triple option being the chop block being banned from college football has ruined the Service Academy success.
Well, Army
he is picking against them often, isn't he?
I am. Yeah.
He's an un-American son of a bitch.
No, Air Force hasn't changed anything. Air Force hasn't changed anything.
True. I don't think Army's changed it that much.
Have you? You didn't watch the game last week. The nuggets they were putting out about how many passes they've thrown this year.
I have to double check that. You might be right.
That's the one that is. That's why they lost to ULM. And look, this is a game that goes back to 1899. And guess what? Syracuse only has a 1-game lead against the Black Knights. But I think it moves to 2.
Great series.
Rocky Long gets it done.
Oh, they'll win outright.
I do like Rocky Long and that defense. And I go back to, Army looked good against UTSA, but just 2 weeks ago, they lost on the road to Louisiana Monroe. So second of a back-to-back away, Syracuse, they're 3-0. I think the crowd is getting energized. I'm going to go with the home team, lay the points.
That Monroe loss was the
never fade about in a season opener.
Never fade about in a season opener. And that was also the Coast Guard, flexing on the Army there. I feel like Tigerland, Monroe, Louisiana, home of the Coast Guard. I have to agree that Syracuse is going to win this game. They are both top 10 offense and defense in ESPN efficiency FPI. I don't know whether Syracuse.
Jamie Hope cracking me up.
What is it?
Nobody gives a better Fred Durst interview than Carson Daly. Chat rocking along, folks. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Check us out.
Yeah, buddy. All that to say, I think I'm going to take Army.
Really? Go with your Black Knights.
Okay.
Why don't you do a little Service Academy parlay? Air Force and Army.
I like it.
Is Navy on bye this week? I think that might be.
I think so. I think so.
Navy's out at sea this week. Okay, go ahead.
Let's do a little
moonshine for Weehawk. Shout out to Weehawk.
There you go.
Woo! That's fantastic. All right. This is the second ever matchup between these two. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane are heading to DeKalb.
Nice. Hard L.
Yeah. DeKalb, Illinois to take on Northern Illinois. Rocky Lombardi is laying 4.5 or 4 points, right? 4 points. Tulsa's plus 164 on the money line. I will fade Tulsa as by the way, I feel very good about my Tulsa under this season and my Arkansas State under both. I feel like are fantastic.
Steve Spurrier Jr. not getting it done for you.
That's going to take, I got faith in the old ball coach's son. All right.
The young ball coach.
I met him. He was part of Mike Leach's staff in Pullman.
Yeah.
I'm laying the 4 though. I think Northern Illinois is a better football team right now. NC Nick, what are you doing here in DeKalb?
This game completely sucks. Tell me why this shouldn't be on a weekday.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to spend like Saturday afternoon watching this game?
Let me say this. Let's cut Tulsa a little break. Washington and Oklahoma, ESPN's top 2 teams, ESPN FPI efficiency ranking, and I put both of them as my top 2 teams in the country on Saturday's episode.
Crazy. Oklahoma's played nobody.
Oklahoma is looking fucking phenomenal. I don't care if they play no one. They're kicking the shit out of everyone's ass. Oklahoma looks great. Washington looks great. Tulsa got their ass kicked by both of them. There's not much you can take away from that. Meanwhile, Northern Illinois lost to Southern Illinois.
They beat Boston College. Southern Illinois is undefeated.
They did beat
15.
Boston College by about the same amount that Florida State did. So, what's the spread on this? Sorry,
4.
Give me. I'm with you. Go Northern Illinois here.
I agree.
Yeah, let's go. Move along. The Oklahoma Sooners, for the 3rd time ever, taking on the Cincinnati Bearcats. They have a 2-0 lead, but the last time they played in 2010, Oklahoma snuck by Cincy by just 2 points.
Noah's in the background accusing me of some Big Ten shit. Like I'm trying to hype up Indiana back in the pandemic. So the Ohio State win looks better when they beat them. They put Indiana in the top 10. I'm putting Oklahoma at number 1 because they look like the damn best team in the country, not because I'm trying to like shield Cincinnati.
They do not look like the best team in the country.
Well, all right.
The SMU game, the only decent opponent.
The number 1 point differential of any team in the country.
If you put a bunch
if you just put the stats in front of your face, yes, they're the best team in the country. Sure.
Tulsa and Northern Illinois. Well, Northern Illinois already. Tulsa and Arkansas State.
Those are 2 bad teams. Yes,
they would not even be in the upper half of most of the FCS conferences.
Fair
well,
enough.
this is fascinating because now I want to see who Patty's going to take in this game because he's building up Oklahoma and he loves Cincinnati. Who you got here?
I'm easily taking Cincinnati to cover.
14.5.
I'm worried about the money line though. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think it can happen. I'm not buying it. Look, one of what was the clear weakness of Oklahoma last year, right? The defense, especially I felt like the run defense. Well, guess what? SMU doesn't run the ball enough for me to even buy in to this defense being fixed for Oklahoma. This is their opportunity for Cincinnati.
It could happen. Yeah. Big noon kickoff there, but I'm not. I want to be hoorah about Cincinnati. Oklahoma looks good, man. Oklahoma looks good.
Well, I'll tell you that Cincinnati is quickly becoming my least favorite team in the whole freaking country because whatever I do with them, I get it wrong. I'm 0-3 picking them. I had big question marks coming into the season. The first 2 games, I'm fading them. They look great. I say, okay, I was wrong. Let me jump on the Bearcats. And then they lay an egg against Miami of Ohio.
No, but you knew that was a look ahead spot. They had their first ever Big 12 game.
True.
It's the Oklahoma Sooners going to the SEC. And there was just a bad spot for Miami, Ohio, to come in and get that dub. And then look, since he should have won it in regulation,
Cincinnati dominated that game. In terms of first downs, 30-16, total yardage 538 to 358. Time of possession 36-23. They kicked their ass.
31-24, Patty C.
They got in the red zone a bunch of times
all
and didn't
that
convert.
matters.
Okay, yeah.
31-24.
And I'm happy for Miami. Guess what? It doesn't impact at all. The Big 12 race, Cincinnati will still be in the Big 12 championship game.
And this one matters.
This one does.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
guess what? I hope Cincinnati pulls this money line. Fuck you. The over is still in play. Let's go.
With all that said, I'm taking the points.
I'm on the Bearcats.
I think it's a close game. I love a game at Nippert.
Florida
Twist
State.
those nippies, baby.
Florida State heads to Clemson, South Carolina. They don't got to worry about fans reading spy novels because it's not in Tallahassee. But Florida State has lost 7 in a row to Clemson. Wow. And somehow Florida State, they're still ranked 4th, even though Boston College, who looks like maybe the worst Power 5, Florida State escapes. FSU's laying 2.5. I'm trusting the LSU win. Am I very scared because Florida State hasn't been on the road until that Boston College game? I do not feel very comfortable with this play. I'm going to take Florida State minus 2.5. Patty C, is it 8 in a row for Clemson?
It's 8 in a row for the Clemson. You're making the wrong play here. I feel like
I'm not locking this. I'm not betting this.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be close. I do think it's going to be a close game. I think the home crowd, I think Clemson settled in a little bit. I think Florida State was exposed last week, although they'll be more ready this week. Still, Clemson money line.
NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I think I tried to warn you guys that the Boston College game was a complete look ahead game. Speaking of look ahead games for Florida State last week. So I was definitely on the points. I didn't think it was gonna be that close, but I don't think, there's the LSU game. We know Florida State's a good team. And also I don't think we can discredit how Clemson looked against Duke just because they beat Charleston Southern and Florida Atlantic by a lot.
And Florida Atlantic, Casey Thompson got knocked out of the game.
Exactly. So I see like a super senior in Jordan Travis in his 9th year who's never beat Clemson. I'm going to lean on that side and go Florida State. I think they finally get it done.
I think
the handing of the baton is going to happen.
No, when that's going to happen?
South Carolina.
That's going to happen in Charlotte, North Carolina, about 12 weeks from now when they play each other in the ACC championship.
Running the table.
Look,
they already got a loss to Duke.
Nothing left, right on the schedule.
NC State
it's not that hard.
Don't they have North Carolina too?
Does Clemson have North Carolina?
I don't
know, but I know
schedule.
Duke has at Florida State and at North Carolina left on their schedule. I think they probably lose both of those. I think Clemson scoots through. They might lose to Notre Dame, but either way, that's not a conference game.
At NC State.
All of a sudden, Clemson's schedule's tough. Look at it. So Florida State, then at Syracuse. Syracuse is looking pretty good.
That's one I didn't factor in.
Rocky long, baby.
Wake Forest at home. Then at Miami, at NC State, Notre Dame.
They're not going to be in. If they
Georgia Tech
at Miami could be tough.
At
and
South Carolina.
They already have one ACC loss.
All right. We'll see if Clemson can do it. I'm relying on them to get it together in the last 2 games being a better rep. They did hang with Duke from a yardage standpoint, but they did get their ass kicked. So I don't know. We'll see.
Clemson shouldn't hang with Duke from a yardage standpoint.
Duke's better. You're fucking ready to stalk Mike Elko to keep him around.
I'll be at that gas station.
Sheets. He's a Sheets guy. Yeah, Sheets is great because you can get a sandwich while you're gassing
while you're
up,
stalking. Yeah.
MTO made to order.
Yeah,
baby.
there you go. Western Kentucky is heading down to Troy, Alabama. Surprise! These teams have played a little more often than I thought. All right, it's the 9th all-time meeting since 2007. It's a fun matchup. 2 good mid majors. Troy's laying 3.5. Look, if Troy can make a field goal, they would have beat the JMU Dukes. You got lucky.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, it'd be Christmas every day of the year.
I'm gonna. Troy responds. I'm gonna lay the 3.5. I don't feel good about this game. Do not bet this game. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, for some reason Troy hasn't looked right. They're 1-2. They looked. I mean, at Kansas State, there's no shame in that loss, but they didn't look good there. I didn't think they looked that good beating Stephen F. Alston 48-30. I mean, last year that defense wouldn't have given up 30 points to anybody. Even Patty C's Oklahoma Sooners. Okay,
they're definitely not the same team they were last.
No, I'm going Western Kentucky to cover, and I think it's a decent money line play.
I agree. I mean, the USF win looking much better after their performance against Alabama. They beat USF by more than Alabama did, and you're going to fade Western Kentucky. They kept it close for a few minutes against Ohio State. You got to give them credit there. I'm on Western Kentucky as well.
That was I locked up Ohio State last week. That
Ohio State finally got off.
That one cashed.
Yeah.
Auburn is heading to College Station. This series goes back to 1911, folks.
It's a fun one.
A&M leads this series by 3. Auburn won this last year. They were firing Brian Harsin, creating scandal. He said he still was able to. I don't know if it was him or it was Cadillac. Was it Cadillac? I don't know. Anyway, A&M's laying 7.5. That's too many points for me. I will take the 7.5 and the Auburn Tigers. I don't feel great about this one either, though, because A&M is weird, man. I thought they would look better. Auburn. Actually, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm laying the 7.5. Auburn should have lost to Cal. Auburn sucks, I think.
But Cal was down 14-0 to Idaho.
17-0.
17-0. 31 straight though. Let's give Cal a little credit. Texas A&M got their ass kicked by Miami. They've beaten New Mexico and ULM. What has that proven to you, Colby Dant?
I'm talking shit about A&M.
But you're taking. You're taking the 7.5.
No, I said I'm just counting on. Like originally I was taking the 7.5, but because I thought A&M was going to look a lot better. I think they wake up this Saturday, laying the 7.5. What are you taking here?
We Tigers on the college experience, so I'm going Auburn.
Ooh, NC Nick.
I want to draw a parallel here for A&M and LSU. LSU had the bad loss to Florida State. They had a game against Grambling or something to kind of get right, and then they came out on fire the game after that. I'm not saying A&M is as good as LSU, but I believed in A&M before the season started. They had their tough loss at Miami, the get-right game against ULM last week. I think they come back home, and I think they're about to lay it on the Auburn Tigers. I don't think anybody's locked up a game yet. Allow me to be the first.
Wow.
Boom. Lay it.
NC Nick saying he's going to be part of the 12th man, even though he's in Laramie. He might wear some overalls. Support the Aggies. Play the 7.5.
Joining the cult. Joining
that cult. This is an interesting one here. Kentucky heads to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt fresh off getting swept by UNLV. UNLV hasn't been relevant since fucking Icky Woods. Anyway.
That's a pull.
Yeah. Vanderbilt. Kentucky at Vanderbilt. This series dates back to 1896, but guess what? Kentucky only has a 5-game lead, and Vandy won last year in Lexington. Give me Vandy plus the 13.5. I think I will lock up the Commodores.
Woo! Have you seen them this year? Have you seen them play football this year?
Have you seen Kentucky this year? And your boy Devin Leary looking like he's all of a sudden look like who? He's looking like Alex Van Pelt.
Nobody has hated Devin Leary more than Colby.
He was I don't know what he did. He just like fucked he somehow he like what did he had sex with Peter King? What's going on? All of a sudden, like everyone was like he's the best quarterback in the ACC, and I'm like, what? I'm like, have they seen the other quarterbacks in the ACC? Every public here, Devin Leary.
Yeah,
they got Devin Leary.
It was weird.
Right? And look, I mean, I think the guy's all right, but come on.
He knows somebody.
Yeah. Something happened.
That said, Kentucky's been kicking ass and Vandy sucks.
No, Kentucky has not been kicking ass.
Well, that's on the scoreboard.
Almost lost to Eastern Kentucky.
Okay. That was not an ass kicking.
That's right. An FCS team that's winless.
Fair enough. They kicked the Cardinals of Ball State's ass. They kicked the Zips of Akron's ass.
Even that Ball State game's little.
Their non-conference slate is
ridiculous.
So bad.
Yeah, there you go. Rob Donaldson. Shout out to Rob. Rob's a great guy. Christian Hackenberg. That's a perfect comparison.
Yes, great comparison.
Perfect comparison. Yes.
Hey, look, and their schedule is bad, but it's not Georgia bad. You know, I mean, if to rank the SEC East out of conference schedules, Georgia's probably the worst.
Because Louisville's better than Georgia Tech.
Pretty much.
It's bad. It's bad either way. Shame on you, Kentucky. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt's 16-point loss against Wake looking even worse after Wake struggled.
Wake won, though. They're undefeated.
Still, they barely got by Old
Wake
Dominion.
To beat Kentucky right now.
Okay.
I'm going to lay the points. I think it is kind of a revenge game
Lock
from last
it up.
year.
Come battle.
No, no.
You're locking Vandy?
I lock Vandy.
I'm not touching this game. No.
Let's lock battle.
I wouldn't touch this game with Patty.
Play the fucking music, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
And
you're gonna lose money.
Take a swig of this.
You're gonna lose money. You filthy
Spinal.
This is a moonshine swigging kind of game.
In one corner, Pick Dundee with the Commodores. In the other corner, Patty C with the Wildcats.
Woo! That was Kentucky moonshine right there. I'm fairly sure.
Western Carolina, man, close to Tennessee. All right. Moneyline Max with me. There we go. The undefeated Rutgers Scarlet Knights, might I add, undefeated. You know who has a ticket on the over for the Scarlet Knights?
This guy.
Oh yeah,
nicely done.
I called for a bowl game, and I'm pretty sure I have like 5 DMs that say I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway,
kept the receipts.
They're catching 24 points in the big house. Jim Harbaugh's back. This is the first game. Michigan. So Rutgers threw for a cool 46 last week against Virginia Tech, but they were getting over 7 yards a carry against the Hokies.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That ain't gonna work against Michigan. However, I will take the 24 points because somehow or another, I feel like Rutgers covered last year. I think it's a bad matchup for Rutgers. I should lay it. No, this was 52-17 last year. I will lay it. I will lay the points with Michigan. NC Nick, what are you doing here at the big house?
A couple different dynamics. I mean, so first off, this is Rutgers' first road game of the year. And does the Harbaugh return mean anything? Does he come out trying to like prove a point and just like run it up or like
take the over on this game? The total's at 44, I think.
Yeah.
I think like Michigan's going to get in the 30s. So then you're asking yourself, can Rutgers get a score? It's a big if.
I'm gonna take the points because I've taken the points against Michigan every game this year, and I'm 3-0 so far. So why would I stop now? Give me the points.
Jim Harbaugh. That would be why. Patty C, what are you doing here?
I feel like Michigan is passing more. Maybe they're trying to get JJ McCarthy ready for the playoffs when the games actually matter. Second in the nation in completion percentage, 82%. Maybe he is a bona fide pro here. Who knows? That said, they have barely they beat ECU by 27, UNLV by 28, and Bowling Green by 25. And 3-0 Rutgers, who's looking pretty damn good. They're only laying 24. I'm on Rutgers all day, baby.
Give me a 38-10 final. 38-10 final. Let's go.
Go Scarlet. Go Knights.
Lay the points.
Very Scarlet
Let's
Knights.
Go. Next up, speaking of the Hokies of Virginia Tech giving up a cool 46 to Gavin Wimsatt.
He's good. He can move at least
46 yards.
Well, passing.
What part of that 46 yards was impressive?
It's more his.
It's like
running.
he had a great 6-yard slant he threw early in that game.
Really good at throwing screen passes.
The ball placement's unbelievable.
Okay. Instantly regret saying that.
Virginia Tech, yeah, you might want to caution following Patty C's picks after saying something like that. Virginia Tech, shout out to the Hokies, and I unlike other podcasts that question why they're doing this, I want to give credit to the ACC and Pac-12 for playing at these awesome venues. All right, going to Huntington, West Virginia. I think this is fantastic. The whole fucking town's going to get behind this game. Marshall's laying 5. This was at like 7.5. It came down. I was like ready to take Virginia Tech plus the 7.5. 5 is such a weird spot. Give me Marshall minus the 5. I feel like the momentum of the crowd is the difference. Marshall wins 28-21. NC Nick, what are you doing here in Huntington?
Maybe I'm getting too cute here, but I think Marshall can win by a field goal and Virginia Tech still cover. We don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation. Grant Wells is questionable. I don't even know if it matters because I don't know.
Isn't he gonna want to play against his former team?
You would think so. That's right. That's an angle too. Is Grant Wells any better than Drones? I don't know. I mean, if you're Virginia Tech, who do you want playing in this game? So I don't think that really matters at the end of the day. So I'm going to take the Hokies, but I am kind of hoping that Marshall wins straight up.
Patty C.
This is a little bit of a tough one. Let me ask you a general question here. Week 4 of the college football season. Would you rather have played 3 games or would you rather have played 2 and be coming off a bye? Does the extra experience mean that much, or does the getting healthy?
I think you probably want the 3 games, right? Because I would rather have my bye later in the year. Or you're just talking about for right here
for this spot
for this spot. I guess give me the bye, but I mean, you're gonna get burned by it later. For this week,
you think the game planning is more?
Yes,
is better than the reps.
Well, I think it maybe matters too. Like if your offense is firing on all cylinders, you don't want the bye. You want to keep on going,
keep the momentum going.
But Virginia Tech, Marshall, their offenses have not been humming, so maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, generally speaking, a week 3 bye probably not a good thing. Right. Still, Marshall 2-0, Virginia Tech 1-3. Granted, a little bit better than that record, or 1-2, I should say. I'm on Marshall. The home crowd, the environment. I'm with you, Colby.
The Hokies need it more. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
Brent
very
Pry
true.
is going to find his seat very hot.
But
if
Charles Huff wants to be the next West Virginia head coach,
or the next Virginia Tech head coach,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Next up, we jump down to the Iron Skillet. For some reason, this game's going away. This makes me mad. I get angry. They've been playing this for over 100 fucking years. They've been playing this game since 1915. It is the Battle of the Iron Skillet, and
yet these two teams have never been mutually in a higher
level
spot than they will be.
You see that SMU raised $100 million in like
7 days.
I saw one person say though that he just got on the phone so they said 7 days, but I heard it was done in 1 day.
Yeah.
Like got on the phone, was like, we need a bunch of money to go to the ACC. And it's like, there's money. End of the day, $100 million. Holy fuck. I can't wait to see how good they're going to be in a couple years.
3 phone calls later.
Yeah. Let's go.
We got the wrong group of friends, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't even get $100 if I had all day. You know what I mean?
Just cold calling everyone.
Yeah.
Give me $3.
Yeah.
Hey, Moneyline Mac, I'm in a pinch.
Why is that name Moneyline? Come on, dude. Give me $10. TCU's laying 6.5 points. Look, in case you didn't know the backstory on this, TCU is the one that call it quits here. All right,
bitches.
They're the ones that call it quits. They don't want that. And then they announced that before because they knew SMU was trying to get in the Pac-12. They knew SMU was trying to get in the Big 12.
Yeah, so, taking all clout that they could away from them.
I would not. Me and Kramer would talk about this. This is an envelope game. SMU players are going to get money because not only that, there was disputes from athletic directors on social media going back and forth on this. SMU is going to pay up for the win in this game. That is why I'm riding the money line and the Mustangs in one of the final battles of the Iron Skillet.
For now.
Yeah, for now, at least.
Yeah, I am with you. That spread is too much. I don't know. At TCU, crosstown, maybe money line.
I might lock this.
The motivation.
I was gonna say, let's lock this up.
Yes, let's go. You
can double lock.
Pony Express.
You guys, I'm gonna take a flyer on your guys' lead here, and I'll triple lock with you.
All right,
let's go. Triple lock.
Done and
let's
done.
go.
All right,
give me that music.
I gotta find some music that won't get me sued, but let's go with this.
Absolute fire song. Name that movie.
They won't be able to.
What is that? Miami Connection?
Miami Connection. Do yourself a favor. It does feature the very golden Central Florida Knights.
The mid 80s, like made a parody on itself.
You can watch that on YouTube for free. Miami Connection. Thank me later. Call 1-800 Pick Dundee to thank me. But anyway, yes, that's a lock. We're taking SMU plus the 6.5. Ride that money line as well. Let's move along. Next up, we got Maction.
Just real quick, what was that? Kung Fury, that movie that was like the
Blind Fury,
super spoof of the 80s, right?
Oh,
like with Hasselhoff.
I've seen Blind Fury.
That's not as cheesy as Miami Connection.
Miami Connection's awesome.
It's the greatest movie ever.
What the hell are you guys talking about, folks?
I watch it like once every 3 months.
A lot of games to pick.
Okay, let's go.
Western Michigan at Toledo. This is Maction on a Saturday. What's happening here? This series dates back to the 1930s. Toledo has a 13-game lead, but get this. Toledo won the MAC last year, but they couldn't beat the Western Michigan Broncos. Lance Taylor, new head coach over there with the Broncos. Now they got to go to the Glass Bowl. Toledo's laying 21. That's too many points for me. Give me Western Michigan plus the 21. Patty C.
Toledo's rocking and rolling. Give me the Rockets.
Nick.
I'm gonna take the points. I mean, against Iowa, it was 14-10 at half. Just last week when Western Michigan, they lost 41-10, but at half they kept it close. Toledo's no Iowa. I'll take the points.
Georgia Southern is heading to Muncie, Indiana. Fuck you, Davis Brin. All right, Georgia Southern's laying 6.5. I gotta lay it though. I just think they're better than Ball State. Ball State did beat the hell out of Indiana State, but that's a rivalry game. Calm down. Georgia Southern gets it done. Shout out to Clay who made that trip all the way to Madison. He was hitting me up saying, "Damn it, I hate Davis Brin."
Leading the nation in interceptions. You're still going to lay it?
I think Georgia Southern's a good team. I think they're contenders in the Sun Belt.
Ball State sitting there at 1-2, getting shellacked in both their losses, but killing Indiana State, who really sucks. I'll lay it with you. I'm going Georgia Southern.
Patty C. I'm sorry, NC Nick.
Whoa, well that's an insult.
That's a compliment if there ever was one.
I mean, I want to take a home dog, but not here because that Georgia Southern offense is legit as long as they don't turn the ball over. And I think the Sun Belt shows its superiority over the MAC in this game.
I like what you did there. Nice call.
Actually, let's stay in the MAC. Ohio. It's heading to Bowling Green. This is a series that goes back quite a ways as well to 1945. Bowling Green has a 10-game lead, but Ohio won last year. And the Bobcats defense, stingy. Ohio's laying. This line jumped up. This line was 10, right? Wasn't it 10 before? And now it's
10.5, something like that.
Now it's at 13. I locked it up at 10, but I'll lock it up at 13 as well because I think Bowling Green sucks ass. I will lay the 13 with the Ohio Bobcats and Curtis Rourke, and these are the breaks. You coming?
Let me take a look at Bowling Green. 1-2, whooped Eastern Illinois. Lost respect.
Not really. They didn't cover.
Yeah, but they still whooped them by 23. Lost by 25 to Michigan. Lost at 20 by 10 at Liberty. I'm going opposite. I'm on the Falcons here.
Lock it up. I dare you.
No, I won't lock it up.
Yeah.
Look, you guys know I'm an Ohio guy, but coming into the year, I thought the offense was going to be awesome. The defense was really bad at the beginning of last year, made strides as the year continued. I didn't think the defense would be this good. I sent Patty C a text. I was like, the last 3 games, the 3 teams don't have a combined 100 yards rushing against Ohio. But also, Ohio's offense is kind of struggling. 10 points against Iowa State, only 17 against FAU.
I mean, Iowa State was the top 20 defense.
Okay, how about 27 against the Sharks from Long Island? Only 27
fucking
points.
Sharks? They're good.
The fucking Sharks.
My point is, it's too many points. Here is where I will take the home dog to cover. This is not a money line play.
Lock it up.
No.
Ohio's defense only number 43 in efficiency.
You ready for your score projection here? 35-13. Ohio beats that ass.
Look, homecoming at the Doit. Fuck you. Nobody goes in the Doit on homecoming and covers.
I almost said Nathan Rourke. Curtis Rourke.
I don't feel good about this. I feel like this should be 14. I almost feel like I want to be a trader here and flip. I'm joining Pick Dundee. We're going to Ohio. I'm not locking it, but I'm going to Ohio.
Next up, Texas A&M Commerce is heading to Old Dominion for the first time ever. Patty C, you gonna watch this one? You gonna watch this one with ODU?
Of course. Regional rivalry here.
This ODU's laying 24. I will lay the 20. I was actually been impressed with ODU this year. I will lay the 24 against this arena football coach down there in Commerce, Texas. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, that sounds like it's not enough points. I mean, I guess Texas A&M Commerce, they kind of hung around against Sac State last week, and Sac State was coming off of a big Stanford win. So I'll lay the points. I was actually considering locking it, but I guess I'll just lay the points with ODU.
Let me say this real quick. ODU maybe a little bit fool's gold just because they got their ass kicked by Virginia Tech and Wake Forest. I think the next man up, I think Griffiths is finally not that great of a quarterback for Wake Forest.
I wouldn't say they got their ass kicked against Virginia Tech. That was the fourth quarter. That was like neck and neck going into the fourth.
Still,
yeah.
Texas A&M Commerce, as great as they are, Old Dominion, I got to take them.
Yeah, lay the points.
Yeah, lay it.
Lay the points, people. next up, we jump on over to the Miami Hurricanes heading to the Link.
Oh, the 3:30 slate
where no college football game should be played ever, unless it's Army Navy. Temple is catching what 23.5 points.
Is this the worst venue in college football?
No,
it's right up there.
UNLV Stadium.
At least it's outdoor. I'll give Temple that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. UNLV Stadium.
UNLV is like a parking lot, essentially. Yeah.
I will lay the 23.5, but I don't feel great. I mean, they're calling for rain. Makes it a little tricky, but I'm going to lay the 23.5 because Temple's offense is based on throwing the ball. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Well, first I was going to pour myself a bourbon at the break, but you know what? I can pick another game, and I will definitely lay the points. Temple, they allowed Rutgers to put up 36. Gavin Wimsatt threw for 200 on him. So Van Dimes is going to throw for 500 on him and put up 56. So I'm on Miami.
Yeah, lock it.
Ooh,
Lock Miami.
Ooh, Patty C.
Dude, Miami is looking like a team this year. They're looking like a pretty damn good team this year.
Still haven't hit the road. Does this count as a road game? Patty C.
This is a recruiting trip for Miami. You know, Guidos and fucking
old Big
South
East.
Beach get along really well.
Old Big East Conference foes. This rivalry goes back to the 1930s. But look,
Tyler Van Dimes is from the Northeast.
What do you got there, buddy? What are you showing us?
That's Old Forester, the Statesman, the 95 proof. So somebody in the chat was asking what bourbon I was sipping on. I'm not sure if they can make it out or not, but
Old Forester. I saw that Sean Connery movie. All right, look, folks, that concludes the A side of things on the college football experience. If you're watching on YouTube, just stick around for 5 seconds here. But I'm gonna close out side A and jump over to side B. All right, we are back on the college football experience B side as we're drinking. Oh, he's drinking Finding Forrester. I'm drinking, not Everclear, but what's it called? Moonshine.
You're nursing moonshine. Granted, you had a much bigger glass.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's jump on over. We're in the middle of previewing. Go listen to side A. We talk Mel Tucker situation. We talk about all the Thursday, Friday, and early Saturday games. And you can watch this on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. All right, let's have fun here. This is a game that goes back to 1894. Ole Miss heading to Tuscaloosa.
This is a fun one.
They've only won. They've been playing since 1894. They've only beat Alabama 10 times. That's fucking unbelievable. Ever.
Oh my God. I've witnessed 2 of them. I feel kind of like honored.
They haven't won since 2015, I think. Okay.
That's an unbelievable statistic.
Yeah. 10 times ever. So wow. Alabama's laying 7, guys. And I am actually laying the 7. Everyone I know is on Ole Miss. Everyone is telling me you got to take Ole Miss. Jalen Milroe, the guy that should have been starting last week. Saban can do any of this bullshit he wants, but yeah, I think he's finally got the right quarterback in the spot. I think Ole Miss is not that, just like last year. Ole Miss was like 7-0, and people had them ranked because they're in the SEC, but it was like, no, they hadn't played anybody good. They got so lucky that Michael Pratt was out against Tulane, or they would have lost that game. I don't think they're that good. I am laying the 7 with Bama. I think Bama gets this one done. Give me a 35-17 final. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm also seeing a 6.5 out there, so you might be able to get yourself an extra half a point. But I agree with you. I was high on Bama last week. Also, I was wrong there. I'm going to go back to the well one more time, give them one more chance because I believe that everything you said is pretty true. That Ole Miss is overrated. Alabama is currently undervalued. Roll Tide.
I don't know that I believe that Alabama is undervalued.
I mean, they did look like shit last week, yeah. But you should be starting Milroe. He's by far their best quarterback.
He's their best option. He's got the most potential, and probably is their best right now. I mean, undoubtedly. Although, who's the guy that threw the 2 touchdowns? Is it Simpson? Ty Simpson?
He looked like shit.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, Ole Miss, despite leading the SEC and scoring points per game, have been playing like shit. Did escape against Tulane. Would have been beaten by Michael Pratt. I'm with you guys. I might regret this, but I got to go Bama here.
Lay the 7. Let's go. Roll Tide. Boston College is heading to the Shack. The Love Shack, baby. It's the Love Shack now that Jeff Brom's back. Now that Brom's in charge in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville's laying what 13.5, 14. I see a 13.5 out there right now, but 14 on their screen here. Lay it. Boston College had their Super Bowl last week. It's going to come crashing down with Thomas Castellanos. No, Brown was up 21-0 on Indiana. He caught off the Dogs.
I don't think he caught off the Dogs, but I think this team is getting better week to week and learning how to win games. That's an important thing, man.
This series goes back to the 1980s. It's actually a close series. Louisville leads it, but you know what? Maybe take the points. Take the 14.
I'm taking the 14 because Louisville cannot play a full game well. So Georgia Tech, throw out Murray State. Georgia Tech, they stunk it up in the first half, came on the second half. Exact opposite against Indiana. Great in the first half, couldn't do shit in the second half. So Georgia Tech covered, Indiana covered. I think Boston College can cover too.
I do think though Louisville is going to be a team that is getting better every week.
Are they? Then what happened in the second half against Indiana?
No, but
they got blanked.
What do you mean? They still won the game.
I know, but like the offense
dominating that game.
Anything.
Okay, but I'm saying is that one thing I think throughout the season is that they're going to be getting better each week. I will say this.
I agree they got conservative. I don't think they called off the Dogs.
I thought their offense this week looked better against than Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech they looked more unorthodox. Like this, even though they got blanked in the second half, I still felt like it was a more fluid offense.
I think Indiana's a respectable football team too. You know, I think Louisville is growing and they're learning how to win. Jack Plummer, top 20 in both passing yards per attempt in the nation, as well as interceptions. So they throw the ball downfield. He completes passes, but he also throws.
This is a tough one because I can totally see Louisville covering this too.
Boston College.
You know what? Wait, isn't this their? Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm laying the 14. This is their first FBS opponent at the Shack. They've been on the road, and then they had Murray State.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Wells Crowther thing really is a thing that keeps games close. Obviously, Florida State, a team that will let down. That should have been predictable. I dive into the stink. I didn't see that one coming. I don't know what to make here. I'll go Boston College though, because I don't think Louisville has proven enough.
Florida Atlantic. Casey Thompson's out for the year, guys, towards ACL, right? They head to Champaign. Illinois is laying 15.5. I think we lay the 15.5, and I could be talked into a lock here. NC Nick, what are you doing in Champaign?
Yeah, we were high on Florida Atlantic, and it's just not happening. So Daniel Richardson is a backup. I'm not mistaken. He's a Central Michigan transfer. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was actually solid there. You know what? I'm gonna take the points. I don't like laying a ton with the Illini, so give me the points.
Patty, what are you doing here?
Casey Thompson, 5 interceptions. I feel like Illinois is getting it together. Reggie Love emerging as a reliable running game. I'm going to take the Illini.
It's the first ever matchup between those two schools. Next up, we go to this game goes back to 1998, where Troy Edwards had over 400 yards receiving on the number one team in the land. But a lot has changed in Lincoln, Nebraska since then. The Cornhuskers are laying 20 points against Louisiana Tech. Guys, Louisiana Tech's terrible. I watched a little bit of that game. They lost to North Texas. 20. I know 20 is a lot. I'm laying it. I think La Tech's terrible. Nick?
I agree. I think Northern Illinois is better, and Nebraska just beat them 35-11. So I see kind of a similar score here. Give me the Cornhuskers.
So what happened? I didn't really pay any attention to this game last week. Nebraska, NIU did
they pulled away kind of late. I mean, it was a little bit of a struggle.
You still have to worry about this offense. Is Sims still at the helm? Is that what's going on there? Do we know?
No, he didn't play last week.
He didn't play last week. All right. With that said, then I'll go Nebraska.
Yeah, I think we lay the 20.
I mean, North Texas just put up 562 yards of offense against La Tech in Ruston.
North Texas looking okay this year, though.
Are they?
No, they're not. First win. They're terrible. They look terrible.
They lost to FIU.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're getting them confused with Texas State, I think. Buddy.
Yeah, I am getting them confused with Texas State. You're right.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I feel like I need some big time music here, and I just don't have a lot of solutions. But folks, I'll just play our lock music. We got the first ever Roswell Bowl. First time ever. Roswell Bowl.
What is the Roswell Bowl?
JFK, as you know,
Was it Roswell
he
conspirator?
started the. Didn't he start the
hiding the UFOs?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Someone way back then did it.
I've been to Roswell, New Mexico, and look, they said this happened in the early 1960s, which means JFK was behind it. Damn it! All right, this is the Roswell Bowl as the Lobos head to Amherst, Massachusetts.
It was actually an alien that killed JFK.
Of course,
yeah.
And he happened to be Lee Harvey, but it wasn't Oswald. Anyway, UMass is laying 3.5 points. UMass is laying points, folks.
Take note.
They almost won last week, man. They had that game won.
Northeast football is back.
Terrible tackling attempt by the corner of UMass. I'm laying it. No, gosh. Give me the 3.5. UMass is going to win by a field goal. I can't. 3.5 is like 100 points for UMass. What are you doing here, NC Nick, in the Roswell?
A long road trip for the Lobos. Give me UMass to cover, win and cover.
Oh, they've already beaten one New Mexico team this year, and the better one, New Mexico State. I think they get the Lobos here as well in the McGurk.
Win by a touchdown.
That's right.
All right. Next up, we got a barn burner. All right. How about, and I tried to warn you, NC Nick. Let's check NC Nick's current opinion of our bet. UCF, BYU, and Cincy all look like to me. You look at the other Big 12 teams. Texas not super impressive against Wyoming or Rice. They did win at Bama. Oklahoma, we don't know.
Oklahoma State, questionable.
State just got their ass whooped by South Bama.
Iowa State,
obviously the gambling probe and their backups, they just don't have the depth. You look over, Baylor's losing to Texas State.
I dare say Kansas just fucked around with Nevada.
Texas Tech loses at Wyoming, and all of a sudden UCF, BYU, Cincinnati. I'd say the only dud right now is Houston, and another one, TCU loses to Colorado.
Well, Cincy losing to a MAC school doesn't look that great.
Kansas State losing to Missouri.
Yeah.
It's wide open. It is wide open.
BYU is catching what, 8.5 in Lawrence. I'm locking up BYU in the points. As much as I love my Kansas Jayhawks, I think it's too many points, man. I think it's a one-score game. I love the Jay Hill hire, the Weber State head coach that came over, former Kyle Whittingham guy. I think he did a great job with adjustments. I watched that BYU Arkansas game yesterday again on repeat, and I was really impressed with BYU there. I think they cover this. I think they're live also. As much as I think Kansas is probably going to win the game, it's not going to shock me if BYU wins this thing. I think this is going to be a neck and neck game. NC Nick, what are you doing here in Lawrence? And you can answer our question. How do you feel about the chances of one of these new schools playing for the Big 12 championship?
Oh, that wasn't the bet.
What do you mean?
The bet was, do one of the new schools
games.
reach 9 wins in the regular season?
Well, BYU and UCF are at 3.
Wait, what were the terms of the bet? Just so we can clarify and reiterate, what were the terms of the bet? 5 shots, was it? 5 shots on air?
I don't know what it was.
Don't try and cop out now.
But look, Nick, let me build you a case here. If BYU wins this game, they'll be 4-0, and they are hosting in their first ever Big 12 game Cincinnati, which I think they'd be 5-0, right? Then they get a bye week before they go to TCU, which I think is winnable. Then they're home in Provo to Texas Tech. I think winnable. At Texas, I'll even say that's a flat out loss. Then in the month of November, it's West Virginia, Iowa State in Provo, Oklahoma in Provo, and at Oklahoma State. I think the Cougars might be able to accomplish this.
It's true that the Big 12 doesn't look as good as it did, before the season started, but I don't have them beating Kansas. In fact, I have Kansas covering this. I think it's too easy. It's too easy for people to say BYU just played at an SEC opponent and won. Meanwhile, Kansas struggled at Nevada. I think Kansas is clearly the better team, and I think this is the Jalen Daniels coming out party this year because he's been kind of held in check. He played decent against the Fighting Illini, not so great against Nevada. He has a monster game here. I think throughout most of this game, it's a 7-point game, but I think Kansas scores another one late. They win by 14, and they cover.
It is a little scary that it's a back-to-back away. Second end of a back-to-back away, which the stats say, watch out.
Your stats. That was you championed that.
Yeah. But you know what?
Arkansas, Kansas, those are two long
BYU
trips.
has scheduled crazy for a long time. They're used to this shit. They'll play like a month on the road. You know what I mean? So let's go.
That's true. Mormons go on long trips, recruiting people. I don't know what they do on their trips. Look, they soak the whole trip. I think the spread is about right, although I have to lean BYU.
All right, moving along. That game's fantastic, by the way. The Maryland Terrapins head to East Lansing, take on Harlan Barnett. And
Dude,
Mark D'Antonio.
I don't think it qualified as tragic magic this past game from Michigan State because they got their shit pushed in. Maryland.
It's not tragic magic if it's phone sex. You know what I mean? Like
that is tragic in a way. To get fired over phone sex is tragic.
I don't know that.
And lose $90 million. I don't know that there's anything more tragic than that.
Yeah. To lose the dollar amount that Joe Biden said, a gajillion, bajillion, to a trillion.
But it's tragic for Mel Tucker. It's not tragic for the team. Team doesn't give a shit.
That's
true. Man, Maryland's laying 7.5. I hate laying points with Maryland, but I think I got to because I just wonder about I think I got to lay the 7.5. This week they'll probably try to cover the wheel route, even though Michigan State won't run it. What are you doing here, Patty C?
I'm with you. I guess they pulled away enough. They showed enough to me against my Cavs that they'll get it done. And Michigan State still probably really trying to figure it out.
Don't touch this game. I hate this game. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I actually bet it and locked it up at 6.5. I mean, Michigan State's a dumpster fire right now. I think they're in for a very long season. So I'm gonna take Maryland here. I guess I'm not gonna lock it up at 7.5, but I still feel pretty good.
The hook's a little scary.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me if Michigan State got up and beat Maryland because I don't think Maryland's that good.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Fade Loxley is always in play.
No, I almost want to lean Michigan State with that hook. I don't know. Don't touch it.
Yeah,
don't touch it.
Lock it. Go Maryland. Lock it up. Maryland's going to win by double digits.
You're locking it?
Wow.
Sure. Let's do it.
Woo-hoo-hoo. NC Nick says fear the turtle.
Game 2.
I hate Maryland.
This is the first game that Loxley is officially, or Tucker's officially almost pretty much fired, right?
I mean, we knew last week he wasn't gonna.
But now it's official.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes a difference.
Texas Tech is heading into Morgantown, West Virginia.
Fun game.
Where the Mountaineers are catching 6. This is an interesting game because I was shocked when I was pulling up the Nuggets here. This series does go back all the way to 1938.
Wow. Well, they played once in 38 and then played for another 50 years.
Yeah. And they're 6-6 all time versus each other. Dub V's lost 4 straight against them.
Did they take a train? to get there?
I think so. I think it might have been part of westward expansion. Texas Tech. This is a great spot if you're a Texas Tech fan. And that is why I am locking up Texas Tech -6 on the road against Dub V. It's just the greatest fucking spot. The backyard brawl just happened. Dub V can't really throw the forward pass. Texas Tech wins by double digits in Morgantown.
Tell you that double overtime loss against Wyoming looking a little better after Texas is.
Wyoming's good, man. I'm super impressed. Good. Yeah. What are you doing here, Petty?
It is a huge letdown spot for Dub V. However, 6 points in Motown, that's too many. Give me the Mountaineers.
NC Nick?
I'm with Colby and I'll lock it up with you.
Let's go. Red Raiders. What is it in The Shining? Red Round. It's Red Raiders. Red Raiders.
Everything you said, Colby, but also like who's the more desperate team? Like Texas Tech had visions of winning the Big 12 and they're sitting at 1-2 after a couple.
They still can. They still can.
But the Wyoming and Oregon, they were tough losses. Where they actually showed themselves out pretty well in those games because they were tough spots. So I think this is a spot where
Red Raiders.
Joey McGuire is the sweetheart of Lubbock, even with a 1-2 start. However, Neil Brown is still on the hot seat. I think West Virginia's more
I don't think
desperate.
I don't think that seat's that hot right now
For Neil Brown
after this past week.
If he loses this week, it might get hot.
And the great fans of Morgantown are still hungover, and they don't really care about this game.
I don't trust their players getting out there and playing top ball. They've been doing Jaeger bombs and shotguns all week. All right.
Par for the course.
My Colorado Buffaloes are heading into Eugene, where please clean up the homeless before we come in. All right. I'm joking. That's Portland. We'll clean up the homeless when we fly into Portland. But
big over here. They're expecting a shootout.
They're catching 21 points. Dan Lanning, he said some remarks about Colorado this offseason. We coming. Travis Hunter's out for 3 weeks. I love what Dion said about because people wanted Colorado State to remove the guy's scholarship. Get the fuck stupid out. Idiots. Come on, it's football. Okay, it's a dirty hit. All right, it's good for the rivalry. Yeah. Watch it next year. All right,
that's right.
21 points though. Look, I feel like Colorado's O-line is going to get destroyed, but they were once 21-point dogs in Fort Worth, and you better believe I'm riding my guy. All right.
Look out! Watch him go. Daddy C, notice that's not lock music. It's not lock music.
Called out.
Not locking this one. Travis Hunter's injury. He does play both ways here. So look, backdoor cover. Colorado gets it done. Oh no, fuck it. Colorado fucks with them. All right. These Oregon Ducks think they're Magic Man Blanco supporting Phil Knight and that Nike blood money. They got 8-year-olds working 40-hour shifts in a row in fucking Cambodia. You know what I mean?
I'll say if you just looked at the resume, I think Colorado would keep it within 21. However, the letdown spot, having Travis Hunter, I don't know. Maybe Phil Knight tells Oregon to take it easy. He wants that Nike money with Colorado to still mean something.
I think Magic Man Blanco is a side bet with Colby here because he's all over the Ducks. But I agree with Colby. I'm going to take the points. I'm 3-0 picking Colorado games so far this year. I think they cover this. Make it 4-0.
Let's go.
Shedeur Sanders, 2nd in the nation in passing yards, 4th in the nation in passing completion percentage. That offense goes. I think they keep it within 21 too.
38-24 Ducks.
There we go. And Magic Man Blanco, hit me up on Twitter or DM me. There we go. That's what it is. DM me. Slide into the DMs, bro. Next up, we're going Delaware State. The Hornets. They're heading to Oxford, Ohio. You want to talk about letdown spots? The only problem is Delaware State's complete ass. Miami, Ohio's laying 44 points.
That's a lot.
Lay it. Delaware State lost to a D2 school. Army dropped 50 on them.
57. Yeah.
I gotta lay it.
Again, this is just Colby hating on the Hornets because he's not one.
Yeah, he wishes.
Patty C and I
could have been.
We're
NIL. Okay.
But we tend to represent Sacramento State Hornets a little bit more than Delaware State because Delaware State is awful. Can we really lay this many points with Miami of Ohio after that win against Cincinnati? No. I'm a Hornet through and through. Delaware State, baby. Give me the points.
You're an idiot through and through. Miami is a way better team. I'm going Ohio, Miami.
The Duke Blue Devils are heading up to the wrench to get twisted. Jim Mora is just searching for that first win. Joe Fagnano. It didn't work out with Fagnano. He's out for the season.
Fagnano. It's not Dirte. What is it? The Joe Dirt? Don't try and dress it up. Yeah. It's not Dirte. It's Joe Dirt.
Duke's laying 21 points. What if I told you Duke's never won against UConn? They're 0-2 all time. Oh boy, Mike Elko. Michigan State's going to cool off that idea of potentially hiring Mike Elko when the Blue Devils lose in the wrench. No, give me the 21 though. Duke wins, but I'll take the 21, and they're going to get up for Fagnano. All right, let's go.
There it is.
What are you doing here, Petty C?
Joey Fags is definitely an inspirational piece here. We're going UConn to cover this.
Yeah. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I actually agree with you guys because I think it's kind of a weird road trip where it's hard to get up for Duke. So, I think Duke continues ACC play next week. Yeah, they got Notre Dame on deck at home. This is a definitely look ahead spot. I think Duke is sluggish in the first half. They win, but UConn covers.
Are we just sleeping on Duke's absolute dominance of pretty much everyone they've played?
They should be ranked. They should be ranked. Like, come on, dude. They should be in the top 10. This is why the polls are a fucking joke. Polls are a joke. All right.
Still got to go UConn here, I guess.
Okay, I'll take you to a lock. Let's go to Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah.
Where?
Sign me up already.
Yeah, it should be a triple lock.
Yeah.
Utah and UCLA. This is a series that goes back to the 1930s. Utah's laying 4.5 points. Cam Rising, I think, might play this week. I saw that there's some speculation that even if he's not,
doesn't matter.
This Dante Moore's first. I know. Oh, he played a road game at the Snapper. Come on, look, Snapper's a fine establishment, but it is not Rice Eccles Stadium. All right.
Yeah. Lay
the 4.5 triple lock.
Boom.
Triple lock here. Where the hell is that song that I played earlier? Lay the 4.5. This is probably one of my favorite plays of the weekend here,
especially with Florida looking better. What Utah did against them week 1, that much more impressive.
Well, UCLA's last 3 games in Rice Eccles, 44-24, 49-3, 48-17.
Those are all under Chip Kelly. So you know what that means, folks?
Play.
Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty will stay together through thick or thin.
Next up, we are going to Ames, Iowa. Someone's got to win this. Oklahoma State catching 3.5 in Ames, and they have had this is an old school rivalry. This goes back to the 1926. Oklahoma State has a 14 game lead, but Iowa State's won 3 of 4. I'm on the Cyclones to get it done here. I don't trust Oklahoma State here. Give me Iowa State minus 3.5. They're going to get up for this.
Iowa State?
I mean, I thought that field goal went in. So should have went to overtime. They didn't get their ass kicked like 33 to what was that 34-7 or something?
33-7. But in this game, I just think anything more than a field goal is too many points. So I'll take the Cowboys.
No, I'm on the Cyclones all the way. Oklahoma State looks bad.
They always struggle in Ames too.
Yeah,
they always struggle in Ames. We got a first ever matchup, a conference game, first ever matchup because it's conference realignment. The Rice Owls, who I think is a bowl team this year. They head to Raymond James Stadium.
It's kind of a low key interesting game here.
Rice is laying 2.5. Who wants to lock it up with me? I'll jump in on this. I'll jump in and do this.
No, Byron Brown and that offense is going to come along.
Come on, Nick.
I'm not ready. You know, I'm a big Rice fan, and I'm definitely laying the points. You know, Rice is 3-0 ATS because nobody ever shows him any love. But no, I'm not going to lock it up.
Now we got a problem.
We got a problem because Rice is winning this fucking game. All right. Rice is the better team. I'm laying the 2.5, and this is what you call a fringe lock.
Rice is the better team, but the loss against Western Kentucky, not that bad for USF. It's fringe lock. I guess. I don't know if I guess that means I should take Rice. Maybe I have to take Rice. Maybe I'll roll with you.
Should we lock it?
No.
Okay. UTSA. What's the status with Captain Harris, Nick? Have you heard anything about Frank Harris, the quarterback at UTSA?
I no, not really, but I don't feel good about it.
Tennessee is mad as shit.
Do not bet this game if you don't know the information. I mean,
are you going to fade Eddie Lee Marburger?
No,
pretty good last week.
I'll take the points. I even see a 21 out there right now.
Like Eddie Lee Marburger is better odds to assassinate someone than to beat Tennessee here.
I don't think Tennessee's that good though, but I mean 20.5. Give me UTSA if Captain Harris plays. If he doesn't play, I think Tennessee probably covers. Pay attention to that.
I think I kind of agree with that.
Hold on.
As much as I like Marburger,
21.
Marburger at Neyland's a scary thought.
Yeah.
That's too many points.
I see GBO Farms is trying to like reverse jinx himself here. saying UTSA rolls. I think he's pissed off at the Big Orange.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, if Eddie Lee Marburger's there, I think Tennessee probably does blow them out. But if Captain Harris is there, I think they'll be able to move the ball in Tennessee.
I like it.
I think UTSA covers. Tennessee is sus.
Central Michigan's traveling to Mobile, Alabama to take on South Alabama. This game is the second all-time matchup. South Alabama won last year. South Alabama was laying 15. I saw that Bertie Manuel Jr. is going to play, quarterback of Central Michigan, if you're wondering, son of the former Atlanta Falcon. Man, I think I'm going to take the points. Give me the 15 in Central Michigan.
They're throwing out the 15 in hopes people take the points. What happens when these MAC schools come down to the dirty South in September?
That's true, but I just feel like South Alabama had a gigantic fucking win, man. They haven't had a win. That's probably the biggest win in their school history.
Coming back home on homecoming to celebrate.
All right, I'll lay the 15. I've been riding the Jags this year.
I'm gonna lay it.
I'll lay it. Okay. Yep. Eastern Michigan is heading down to Alabama as well. These MAC schools, it's probably sharing the same Spirit Airlines. Eastern Michigan is heading down to Jacksonville, Alabama.
This is a fucking awesome game.
This is a fun game. This is a very fun game. Rich Rod and Jacksonville State laying 6.5 against my boy Chris Creighton.
Too many points.
It is too many points. Chris Creighton covers. Give me the 6.5 in EMU. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Always bet Eastern Michigan as a dog. Now, Jacksonville State's coming off a bye, but it's one of those early buys. I'm not sure if it matters. I'm going to take Eastern Michigan, and don't listen to what I just said about the previous game about MAC schools coming down to the dirty South, because I think Eastern Michigan's a live dog, and I think maybe we should potentially even lock it up. This is where you take Eastern Michigan. This is the spot where you take them.
They did hit for me against Minnesota. They covered
like Jacksonville State kept it relatively close against Coastal Carolina on the road. Davis Webb just doesn't look like he's got it. I think Eastern Michigan. Zion Webb. Yeah. Eastern Michigan clearly the play here.
I don't know. I mean, Eastern Michigan beat Howard 33-23.
They were up
UMass
big though. Howard came back
17.
They should have lost to UMass.
I don't know. All right.
I'm not locking it. I'm not locking it.
Walk me off the ledge. I'll take the points. I'm not going to bet it.
Yeah.
All right. There's been talk around Greenville, North Carolina, that Mike Houston might be on the hot seat. The East Carolina Pirates. This is out of all the FCS games, this is the one I think people should watch out for. Gardner Webb's catching 17 in the Dowdy at the Rowdy. Man, 17 points. I'm laying it, but
confidence.
I don't feel good, but
play that music.
Patty C.
Both teams have played East Carolina or App State rather. 15-point loss for
Gardner Webb, FCS playoff team, man.
Gardner Webb only lost to them by 21. Still, I'm taking an ECU.
NC Nick, what are you doing here in at the Dowdy?
Yeah, maybe this is the game where the troops rally around their head coach, who's taking strays, and talk about a team that desperately needs a win. That's ECU. So they come out here with their hair on fire and win convincingly.
He's a good coach.
They're the most penalized team in the nation. Next up, Georgia Tech. Guys,
it's really been a roller coaster with Colby and his Mike Houston.
I'm still mad at the NC State game. I'm still mad at the whole fact he never changed kickers. And we're just losing game by game. We should have won 11 games last year.
Colby's tough. You've never had him above a 7. Where is he right now on your Mike?
You can't be this penalized every fucking he drives me crazy. Yeah. He does enough. He did a good job after Scotty Montgomery. He brought in, to me, we're much better along the line of scrimmage. But damn it, it's very frustrating because he's he's way more frustrating than Ruffin McNeil or Skip Holtz or Steve Logan.
They are fucking collapsing in the fourth quarter. The quarterback play, you hate this guy.
Well, they could have got a guy in the portal. It's like you watch all these other teams. Texas State just goes out and gets everybody. And you're like, Mike Houston doesn't believe in the portal.
He's old school, baby.
Yeah. It drives me crazy.
He's developing his talent.
Georgia Tech is heading into Wake Forest. They've been playing this game since 1917. Georgia Tech is a 15-game lead, and get this: Wake Forest hasn't won since 2006. They haven't played him. Unfortunately for Dave Clawson, he never got a Jeff Collins as an opponent. He only had our guy Paul
Johnson.
Yeah. Guys, why is this line 4? Wake's laying 4.
He never got him. He never got
Jeff Collins.
Tough break.
Wake's laying 4. This is the Courtney Love game of the week because I feel like Wake's coming home after going to ODU. I feel like Wake's gonna win by double digits, but this smells. This is Tijuana River smell. Here.
Georgia Tech on a back-to-back road here, coming off of Ole Miss. I think Georgia Tech's getting better. I don't know what to do here.
I think they are getting better, and I think Haynes King is actually playing some pretty good ball. He's averaging over 300 yards per game, and it's not against cupcakes. I mean, yeah, they played South Carolina State, but they also played Louisville and at Ole Miss. He has 9 touchdowns to just 1 interception. I think this is a ball game. I'm going to take the points.
Not me. I'm laying it. I trust Dave Clawson. They were asleep at the wheel for a little bit. They woke up, did what good teams did, and dominated the second half. I'm laying the 4.
I'm not a believer in Griffiths yet, but I will trust Clawson, so I will lay the 4 as well.
I think I might like Wake Forest more if they lost to ODU. The fact that they came back and won.
This shows their championship pedigree.
Yeah, they grabbed their nuts.
Yeah,
they grabbed their nuts.
Fucking George Godsey's not walking through that door. All right, folks. Before we get to the next game, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Yes, we're back with another week of football, and DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping us in on the NFL action and college football action with great offers every single day. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Throw 5 down on any of this week's epic matchups to walk away an instant winner. Football is more fun when you're in on the action. So download the app now and sign up with the promo code SGP. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the National Football League. With the promo code SGP, the crown is yours, people. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you. Look, you got to check this out. With killer deals on last minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll be having at the very event. Look, download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create an account, redeem that code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, we are back on the college football experience, and you know, you were talking about getting better. Is Georgia Tech getting better? Well, I can tell you one team that's been getting better. All right, I can tell you one team that has been getting a lot better.
The airport.
Yes, the airport.
I know.
The Flamin' Libs are heading down to the tarmac, hangar 9. All right, you think they're just gonna walk in there and take down the airport? The airport should be 4-0. They were up 59 minutes against La Tech
in a game where they threw for 5 yards passing.
Football's back, baby. But hey, look, they beat Jim Mora. They said, like, get out of here, Jim Mora. What are you doing? All right. Like, yeah, playoffs. All right. They beat Patty C's North Texas that he thinks is, and they beat Maine, the Black Bears, by 2. All right. But it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you win the games. And
no, you got to give Mike Mack a lot of credit here for what he's doing.
Yeah, they should be 4-0, man. They should be 4-0. But the Flamin' Libs and Jamie Chadwell, they're looking pretty damn good too.
Yeah,
they're looking pretty damn good too.
Not exactly playing great competition. Bowling Green, New Mexico State, and Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Johnson, West Carolina alum. There we go. And there you go. Weehawk. I got the Cats t-shirt on. All right, let's go.
Boom.
Let's go.
Coming strong.
YouTube.com/the college experience. If I could take off my sweatshirt, that'd be great. It's a hard thing to do.
I knew things got loose on the B side, but I didn't know we were start stripping.
This man's struggling to take off his.
It's a tough thing to do. It's a tough thing to do.
Give me a little shot of that moonshine.
That was almost fat guy in the little coat there.
Yeah, boom. Weehawk, cheers to you, brother.
Yeah, cheers, Weehawk. There we go. To Paul Johnson, a legend, and he needs to get. Look, he's still young. Hey, who's West Virginia? If you're gonna fire Neil Brown, I got the perfect guy for you. Paul Johnson, get it done.
I will say this: it takes a little while to recover from that level of system transition.
Does it? Because Georgia Southern made a bowl last year.
All right.
Going air raid, going.
Maybe I stand corrected. That's true.
What are we doing here? I'm actually taking the Flamin' Libs -10. I think Chadwell's actually got them going. As much as I love my guy Mike McIntyre in the airport, you can still get to a bowl game, Mac, but I don't think it's happening here. I think the Flamin' Libs, I think, are going to be undefeated. I can't wait for the 12-team playoff when the Flamin' Libs are in the playoffs every year.
It's on -10 in the airport. I'll go Libs.
Yeah.
I'll go Libs.
I'm gonna take the points. I mean, you don't go into Ricardo Silva Stadium. Who was Ricardo Silva? How did he get his name?
Who wasn't Ricardo Silva? Let's be honest.
But I just think it's a good spot where it's a little bit of a letdown for Liberty because I mean, look, they've won all 3 games by double digits. I think they're feeling themselves a little bit too much here. I think this game's closer than expected. I'll take the home dog and the points.
I like it. I
do like that.
Arkansas is heading into Baton Rouge, Louisiana to take on Brian Kelly and his family. LSU is laying 17 points. 17.5, I see. Whew.
It's a lot.
It's a big number. They got a history.
This game was 13-10 last year.
I know. It's a lot of fucking points, man. And they didn't have Rocket Sanders last week. This series goes back to 1901. LSU has an 18-game lead, but Arkansas hasn't won since 2021, which I guess was 2 years ago. But give me the points. Give me the points. What are you doing here, Nick?
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to lay them. I think LSU's on a mission after that Florida State loss. They showed it at Mississippi State last week. Coming back home, they do it again.
Too many points. I'm taking Arkansas.
All right, next up, Charlotte, the Clits heading into the swamp. Biff Poggi, he's never had swamp ass a day in his life. All right, he's going.
If anybody's got swamp ass, it's Biff Poggi.
Refute that claim very strongly.
This is the first time these teams have ever met. I think it was on the schedule, like a hurricane ticket out or COVID. I don't remember, but this is the first time it's happening. Florida's laying 27.5 points.
It's a lot again.
Oh man. You know what? Give me the points. Give me the points. I want to see Mertz have to pass the ball. What was Mertz's stat line? I feel like every pass was a 2-yard pass for Graham Mertz. I think Charlotte might have the guys to load the box. And yeah, Mertz is questionable too. That's a good point. I don't know why. I'm just not fading Biff Poggi ever. I'll take the 27.5.
You're 1-2 so far, not fading Biff Poggi. I see your point. I mean, Florida coming off the big win, but I'm going to lay the points. Give me Florida.
In the swamp. The letdown spot potentially there. I'm laying it.
I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
I do feel good about this one though. The Nevada Wolfpack are heading into San Marcos, Texas, where the best team in the country resides. Talking about the Texas State Bobcats.
TJ Kinney.
Oh my God.
He's got drip.
He does.
Dude, they had 84 points on Jackson State. They actually had a touchdown called back.
Dude, this is out of the fucking blue.
Dude, we need to lay the 17.5. This should be a lock.
Yeah.
This should be.
Although
Nevada
Nevada played,
but that was in Reno,
Kansas.
They got to go to San Marcos.
I don't care. That's a lot of
San Marcos,
points.
whatever the fuck it's called.
That's a lot of points for a team that just hung with Kansas.
I'm laying it. Texas State's
Texas State is dynamite.
right now.
And what I like about it is he kept going for touchdowns at the end of it. On that alone, you kind of have to lean Texas State.
Lay it. Nick, what are you doing here?
You know what? My initial reaction was to take the points, but you guys have swayed me. I'm a Texas State Bobcat fan now. I'm buying in completely to what Kenny's doing there. Let's go. Let's lay the points.
He's trying to prove something.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Ricardo Silva.
No one goes into. We're trying to figure out who Ricardo Silva is.
I think it's just a guy that just put up a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah, but how does he have that kind of money? Is he like
look how sexy this dude is?
Is he a really good
Lorenzo
dancer? He sounds like a really good dancer.
Owner of Silva International.
Wow.
Italian businessman.
Wow.
Dude, so much swag down on the airport.
That's true. Their uniform should look a lot better then.
Yeah.
All right. Why do you got Mississippi State's shoulder pads from 2006?
Hey, let me fuck with your whole world real quick. Adidas. Where is Adidas from? Where would you think? Who made Adidas?
Soccer, right?
Soccer. So where is that from?
I don't know.
Europe.
Brazil. Yeah.
Right. Adi Dassler. Look this motherfucker up. This is the guy that made Hitler's uniforms. You ever wonder why the Germans look so damn sharp? It's because the dude that made a fucking Adidas was making their uniforms. Adi Dassler's a fucking Nazi. Anyway,
Texas State. What is an Italian businessman?
Okay.
I mean, Tony Soprano was in sanitation. Is that an Italian businessman?
You like Patty C, a fan of Hitler's uniforms, apparently.
Dude, they look fucking great. They're the evilest human beings that ever fucking existed, but they did look pretty fucking good. You got to give it to them.
Fucking idiot, dude. Next up, we're all laying the points with Texas State, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, Southern Miss laying 7 at Arkansas State. Get the fuck out of here. Just get out of here, man. I am locking up Southern Miss -7.
Yeah, this is
in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Who in Vegas was in charge of putting this line together?
Lay the 7. Sunbelt specialist, do you want to roll?
No, I don't. This was a 1-point game last year in Hattiesburg, and now I will say this line has moved up. It opened up at I think 4. So yeah, I'm with you. I agree, but I'm not touching it because Southern Miss doesn't look right either.
No, they do. They just played Florida State and Tulane.
I was expecting more from the Tulane game, so I'm a little butthurt over that. Patty C beat me in a lock battle. Thank you for not bringing up Patty C. And so I'm a little gun shy.
Arkansas State's win over Stony Brook. Are we taking a lot away of Stony Brook? 0-3. Look.
Hey. Come on. Do not talk shit about the Seawolves because you know that the Seawolves are just.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
All right, let me say this. Delaware beat Stony Brook by 24. Rhode Island beat Stony Brook by 21. Arkansas State beat Stony Brook by 24. Arkansas State is an FCS team.
Yes.
They're getting their ass kicked this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lay the 7.
Yeah.
Butch Jones is already out. He's already out. Arizona's taking out Stanford. This is a game that goes back quite a ways. I believe, where is this at? 1978 was the first matchup. Arizona has a 3-game lead. Arizona's laying 12.5. I think you lay the 12.5 with the Wildcats. So lay the 12.5 and
Wildcats.
I locked them up against UTEP last week. They treated me well. I think they go to the farm and beat the piss out of Stanford. Nick?
I'm taking the points, man. I'll take another home dog. I think Stanford's loss to Sacramento State was bad, yes, but I think they bounce back and at least keep it respectable against Arizona.
Patty?
Jaden Delora, 5 interceptions. Are we a little concerned that he's a little interception prone right now?
No,
not at all. Me neither. I'm all over Arizona to cover 11.5 against Stanford.
Colorado State is heading to Murfreesboro, back-to-back away from Boulder to Murfreesboro. Middle Tennessee's laying 3 points. Saw Middle Tennessee was out their starting running back. Wrong team favored. Give me Colorado State to get this done. This is fringe lock potential to me.
I am going to lock it because I think what last week did, in a tough loss, I think a team can go 2 ways. They can kind of fold up and quit. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that game kind of proved that they belong. It proved how well they can play against a good team. I think they take that to this week. And I think they go into Murfreesboro and get a dub.
I'll join you. Actually, what am I doing? I'm playing the wrong music. Let's lock it up.
Patty C is about to take Middle Tennessee State.
I'm not, although playing Missouri on the road, pretty close. 4-point loss there, looking better after Missouri beats Kansas State. However, the Jay Norvell experience you guys were 1 year premature on. They did look fucking awesome. Horton, is he one of the best receivers in the country?
Yes,
he is. I'm on the Rams to come into Murfreesboro and cover.
Lock it?
Sure.
Let's go.
Have a little fun.
Triple lock. Let's go.
I like that quarterback Fowler Nicolosi too.
Yeah, I think what one of wasn't one of his grandparents looking great in Patty C's Hitler uniforms.
Oh God.
I'm joking.
Let's
I'm
squash
joking.
this before it goes too far. Let's not make this into a thing here.
Sounds more Mussolini to me, but you know.
Well, they were on the same. They were kind of in the same team. You know what I mean?
Axis of evil.
They were playing special teams.
I don't think Italy probably had some fashion designers. We haven't seen enough of their uniforms in World War II to know.
I did watch a Forensic Files recently on was it Gucci, the guy that got killed?
Was Gucci a Stalin guy?
I can't remember. I don't know these fucking. I don't know fashion. Some
Yep.
guy
He was a big Stalin guy.
Oh man, Nichols is traveling to New Orleans to take on Tulane. This game is just disgusting. Tulane's laying 39. Michael Pratt, they said might play. He didn't even play last week. 39 points.
How good is Tulane?
They're really good. They would have beat the shit out of.
What
Ole
a
Miss.
shame.
They would have beat the shit out of Ole Miss.
I actually think they beat USC in the Cotton Bowl.
Lay the points.
They would actually be competitive in this year's playoff field based on how down everyone else is. Tulane could compete, but they fucking blew it.
Lay the points.
2 weeks ago, TCU won by 35. Nichols coming off a bye.
Now, lay it.
Lay it.
I agree.
You're trying to sell us on this. This game's awesome. Sam Houston State at Houston. Oh, this is fun. This is a fun one. The history does go back a little bit here. It says 1946. Houston has a 2-game lead only.
That's too big of a spread.
It is. Give me the Bearcats.
I'm with you.
Nick, what are you doing here?
I disagree. So far, I think I've pegged Houston right. I had them losing and not covering against TCU, and I think they bounced back at home. I think they covered this. I mean, Sam Houston has scored a total of 3 points in their 2 FBS games, so their offense is struggling mightily. Weehawks point, the under looks good, and I like Houston to cover.
Nah, man.
Nope.
Yeah,
Sam
they
Houston's
played
defense
2
is really
very
good.
good teams, Sam Houston, and kept the game close. BYU and Air Force.
Yep.
Come on.
Sam Houston covers.
Yeah.
And it's little brother angle. Come on. They've been wanting this matchup.
Yeah. They are Houston's team.
Yeah. Let's go. Next up. Me and NC Nick will be in attendance, God willing. Laramie, Wyoming. The state that Coach Leach is from. There ain't a chance in hell App State's going there and winning. I will lay the 3 with the Wyoming Cowboys. Lock it up. Wow. I need one of those Dumb and Dumber big gigantic cowboy hats.
Those are great. When he's got the
yeah. NC Nick, what are you doing? Are you locking this? Because come on, you're going to the fucking game, man.
Yeah, but I'm also an App State fan. I know I saw Blanton, the App State grad, earlier in the chat, and I hate to say it, man. This is a extremely tough road trip. We already saw what Wyoming can do at home against the likes of like Texas Tech. App State struggled against the run against UNC. UNC just ran down their throats at will, and
struggled to pass the ball against ECU. ECU would have 2 pick sixes.
Wyoming's going to do the same. I was surprised to see this open up at 2.5, even at 3. I think you got to take Wyoming, and I think you have to lock it up too.
Let's go. How about them Cowboys?
I don't understand how you guys are locking this game. Flip a coin, whatever side it lands on. Do you have a coin?
No.
So
what do I look like over here? Just a guy that carries fucking change?
Yeah, you know I mean, a guy that has some money, right?
No.
Pick Dundee. Oh, he's all plastic, right? I don't know. I don't know who's going to win. These teams look identical to me, and their resumes are about identical.
This is an easy play, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, I'll take Wyoming. Yeah. I'll roll with you guys.
You should.
On your recommendation.
Next up, we have the game of the day, in my opinion. This is where college game day should be.
Whoever wins this game emerges as a real contender.
Oregon State is heading into Pullman, Washington. This is a series that goes back a long way. 1903. Wazoo has a 9-game lead, and they've played every fucking year. I think Wazoo's going to surprise. I think Wazoo's to me, I saw enough from Oregon State's DJU struggling against San Diego State last week to make me think right now in Pullman that Washington State is a little more complete. I will take Washington State to win on the money line If you're going to bet this, just play it on the money line. I say, give me Wazoo, get it done. Even though I'm high on the Beavers and I have a ticket for them on the over, I just think Cam Ward is better than the quarterback situation in Corvallis right now. The quarterback situation is still better than last year in Corvallis, but I also think the Arbuckle hire at offensive coordinator has been a game changer for Wazoo. They have been really efficient. He hasn't turned the ball over. Cam Ward's playing at a really high level. No one's talking about it. I will take Washington State to get it done in Pullman. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
While you make a lot of good points, and first, this is a fantastic game, but I still think Oregon State has the better line play and the better defense, and defense travels into hostile environments. Give me the Beavers.
This is a really tough one to pick. I have to look defense. What Nick just said makes a lot of sense. Defense does win championships, but Washington State's offense has been pretty dynamic.
I mean, their defense is pretty damn good against Wisconsin too.
True. I kind of lean Cougars at home.
So was Georgia Southern's in the first half, at least
against Wisconsin.
Yeah, in the first half.
Touche.
And Buffaloes.
Sure, but I mean, hey, to be honest, I mean, what Oregon State just put it 20 something on San Diego State.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Oregon State's offense is dynamic either. True.
What has Washington State done offensively? Have they been destroying teams?
Yes.
Or not Washington, Oregon State. Oregon State, right? I feel like they've been kind of pedestrian, despite being very efficient. They're not like hanging huge numbers on the scoreboard.
This game's
it's too early to tell. Like Oregon State put up 42 on San Jose State. Okay. Washington State put up 50 on Colorado State. Okay.
Pretty good, all things considered.
And so Washington State's one big game against Wisconsin. They won 31-22. Pretty decent offensive output. Oregon State's one okay game was against the Aztecs, and they won 26-9. It didn't look that great offensively. So I do think Wazoo is a little bit more challenged so far.
It's closer to a money line play, but I got to lean Wazoo.
Yeah, I'd say take it on the money line if you're going to bet it. I'm going to bet it. Unfortunately, we're going to be at the game. I'm going to have to watch this later in the night. Texas heads into Waco. Series dates back to 1901, but Texas has a 42 game lead. However, Baylor has won 2 of 4. Sawyer Robertson, I think, as Shapin's, I think still out. I don't know. I need to double check that, but Texas is laying 14.5. I will take the points because I don't think Texas, after watching Texas last week, I'm like, and after watching Alabama last week, you're saying, well, I don't know. Give me Baylor plus the 14.5. I think Texas still wins, but I'll take the points. Nick?
Yeah. So in the offseason, like we kind of circled this game as like, you know what, the last time Texas goes to Waco, it's going to be a crazy environment. It's just, such a perfect spot for a potential upset. While I don't think that can happen anymore, I will still take the points.
Patty,
you got to take the points. The loss to Texas State,
time ever in Waco for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, they want them. They want to get it done. The loss to Texas State by Baylor not looking so bad. The loss against Utah obviously not looking so bad.
They should have beat Utah. They should have.
And then Texas, I do think they'll bounce back, but I am going to take Baylor to cover this.
Minnesota heads into Evanston. Series goes back to 1892, folks. Minnesota has a 20 game lead. Northwestern's lost 3 straight. The Gophers are laying 11.5. Can the Gophers score 11.5? I'll take the points just off of that. Give me Northwestern plus 11.5. Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, that was my breakdown. In 2 of the 3 games so far, Minnesota's only scored 13 points, and I'm supposed to lay 12 with them. I don't think so. Give me Northwestern.
Watch them win 13-0. Right? I can totally see this be 13-0. Patty, what are you doing here?
I think Northwestern's performance against UTEP gives me just enough to take Northwestern here.
This is the worst game of the day. UAB. And by the way, NC Nick, if you look at UAB's score last week, me and Patty C got eyes on this game late in the night. So you see that score is 41-21.
Yeah.
Right. You sit there and say, hey, that's not that bad. That's not that bad.
Not that bad. No. That's pretty bad.
Well, no, it's still bad. But my point is
not
that
nearly as bad as
this was
really
41-3 with like 5 minutes left. And UAB dressed this thing up. This is the worst game of the entire. I would rather watch the Delaware State Miami Ohio game than this game right here. UAB is heading into Georgia. This is the 4th all-time matchup, and the first matchup in 2003 was just a 3-point game in Athens. However, Georgia leads the series 3-0. This game sucks. I will lay the 42. The only problem is Georgia calls off the dogs in these matchups. It makes it hard to tell, but I will lay the 42. Patty?
I don't know. I guess Georgia's getting better. They've been struggling themselves to hang a lot of points, but I'll lay it because UAB looks so bad.
I mean, isn't it ridiculous that Georgia and Michigan just play nobody? Like, they're not going to get tested for till November.
It's really pathetic because any other league wants to highlight and put a spotlight on their best teams because that drives TV rankings. Like we want.
And Georgia was supposed to play at Oklahoma. Michigan was supposed to play at UCLA.
It's so ridiculous that two of the best teams in the country I haven't watched yet. Because why watch them?
Please bring the 12-team playoff on. We're 1 year away.
So it's just ridiculous that they get rewarded by them playing. Like, we have. I don't know.
Well, we're watching.
I'm laying the points.
The end of a system that didn't work.
Yeah.
In its fucking final conclusion.
I don't know if you're going to see, but there's still going to be some of these games though. I don't know if you're going to see these games go away. So,
yeah,
I don't know if Georgia's and Michigan's out of conference schedule is bolstered all of a sudden. If anything,
Michigan plays Texas next year allegedly. We'll see.
Well, but that's not necessarily because of the expanded playoff. I guess maybe they just decided to challenge themselves. But I agree. I'm taking Georgia. I'm laying the points. I think Georgia is hearing the doubters, and they probably want to prove something this game.
Wait, wasn't Georgia supposed to play Oklahoma this year?
Week 2, yeah.
And Michigan was supposed to play UCLA this year, and they both found a reason to cancel this shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Logical conclusion of a broken
and they're both
going
to end up in the playoffs, and
they're both cakewalking to the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, and
well, they basically have like 2 game schedules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
You start
win both, you're in.
Number 2,
win one, you still might be in. Lose both, you're out.
Absolutely ridiculous. Ohio State is heading to the Golden Dome, the only good dome in this country, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I did make a mistake on the SGP show and say they still play on tall grass. Not the case. I forgot they went to that bullshit.
Yeah, they went
to that bullshit.
Field turf.
Yeah. Ohio State's laying 3.5 against the Irish. I think wrong team favored based on the first 3 weeks. Give me Notre Dame. All right. I'm your leprechaun.
No. I disagree. I think Ohio State should be favored.
Really?
Yep. Ohio State showed me enough last week that
against Western Kentucky,
they have figured it out quarterback wise. All you have to do is show me once that you
against Western Kentucky.
Yeah,
who's could not start good, their fifth string quarterback, and he would do that.
I don't care when you're completing passes again, right? When you're throwing the ball and the receiver is catching it, that's an indication that offense has finally figured it out. The quarterback isn't throwing the ball into the fucking mud anymore.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know what this guy. Too much. What is it? Moonshine. There we go.
It's all Weehawks' fault.
NC Nick, what are you doing in this matchup?
Ultimately, I'm going to take the home team and the points. I don't know how good Kyle McCord is. I think the Ohio State defense is a lot better than previous years, but they really haven't been challenged yet, so it's kind of hard to say. So, just like what Brandon Shirk is saying in the chat here, I'm not going to bet this game. I'm just going to sit back, enjoy it, and watch it because it should be a hell of a game. But my lean would be to take the home dog.
Well, I'll say this: if there was ever a moment for Notre Dame to get them in, and it's been like 90 years since Notre Dame's beaten Ohio State.
It's a series that goes back to 1935.
It's an old series. Yeah. I will take Notre Dame to cover 3, so I might as well take the money line.
I think Notre Dame's strength is their secondary.
And their balance.
And what is Ohio State's strength? Their receivers. So I think it beds well for the Irish.
All right. I'm hoping the Irish win. Yeah. I'm hoping the Irish win.
I actually think the key to Ohio State winning the game is establishing the run. So,
well, I'll tell you this: both of their running backs, Henderson and the other dude who was running, look quick.
Yeah,
they look fast as fuck.
Yeah. Next up, Akron. The Zips are heading into Bloomington. A game we're all excited for. It's a fourth all-time matchup. First was in 2007. Indiana leads the series 3-0. Indiana's laying 16 and a half, whatever. Search, shop around. Akron looks so bad. I got to lay it.
Yeah.
I got to lay it. Nick, what are you doing here?
I agree. I mean, I think Indiana hung with Ohio State. They shut out Louisville in the second half. I think I don't know if they're that good, but Akron's look pretty bad. So I'll take the Hoosiers.
Akron sucks.
The Buffalo Bulls are heading down to Cajun Field. Man, I want to lock this. I just can't take Mike Devereaux to hit a single. Louisiana's laying 9.5. Shop around. Buffalo sucks. I'm going to lay the points. I think Louisiana's going to put it on them, but I feel like this line smells a little bit. Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm also going to lay the points. I think Louisiana's loss to ODU maybe doesn't look as bad as we initially thought. So I think they're clearly the better team. And again, you got a team from the north coming down to the dirty south in September. So give me the Raging Cajuns.
Well, Sunbelt Nick, all about it. But you're right. 0-3 Buffalo, 2-1 Louisiana. Gotta lean Raging Cajuns.
Memphis, Missouri, doing battle at that roller rink in St. Louis that the Rams used to play at, and the fucking XFL battle cries.
This is an interesting game.
Missouri's laying 6. Brady Cook sounds like might not play. Give me the Memphis Tigers upset special. Ryan Silverhairs got to get this done. Nick, what are you doing here at the Dome in St. Louis?
I actually agree. I think it's a bad spot for Missouri coming off their revenge win over Kansas State. Add in the quarterback injury and the fact that the lines come down a little bit, which means money's coming in on Memphis. I would assume the opposite. So give me the points.
What is this Mizzou to the Lou series? What the fuck does that mean?
To the bathroom?
The Lou. The Mizzou is going to the Lou on Memphis. I think you guys are stupid. I'm going Missouri to cover 6.
They only beat MTSU by 4.
Yeah, Missouri's not that good of a
at
team.
home.
They're faking.
However,
this is not in Columbia.
Yeah,
Memphis only beat Navy by 4, and Memphis only beat Arkansas State by 34. Which every team should beat Arkansas State by about 50.
Next up, Mississippi State heading into South Carolina. This series, believe it or not, I was doing my homework, and I know South Carolina was a late addition, but it only goes back to 1992. South Carolina has a 2-game lead though. Gamecocks are laying 6.5. I'm actually going to lay it. I think South Carolina is going to put it on Mississippi State. Patty,
I'm with you.
Nick,
I disagree. I think this is a field goal game. I think Mississippi State ran into a buzzsaw with a pissed off LSU team. And even the week before that, I think Arizona is better than what people expect. And I think South Carolina still has problems on the offensive line. And I think Mississippi State still has a pretty good defense. So I think this is a field goal game. Give me the points.
We shall see.
The Iowa Hawkeyes are heading into State College, Pennsylvania for a whiteout. Penn State's laying 14.5 points.
Come on.
I'm locking up Iowa plus 14.5. I know Luke Lachey's injured and he's probably out for the season.
I'm with you.
They still got Eric Hall.
Throw me down.
This is disrespectful. Give me another 6-4 outing. Let's go. NC Nick, you want to join us on this lock?
I'm not going to lock it. You know why? Because I thought West Virginia was going to cover against Penn State.
They should have.
But they didn't. Tell my bookie that, okay? I thought Delaware was going to cover against Penn State, and they didn't. I thought Illinois was going to cover against Penn State, and they didn't. So I'm on Iowa, but I'm staying far away.
Well, I will say this: Franklin did run it up against West Virginia.
Scored with
so
like
maybe he's got something to prove. He wants to make the playoff. You think this is the year? Maybe he runs it up against Iowa too.
I think Iowa's live. Drew Aller against
I think
Iowa's
very live.
I think they're live.
I think Penn State's a little overrated right now.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I haven't been super impressed with the line of scrimmage as much as I thought I would. James Madison is heading to Logan, Utah in a game. He's super scared.
Get out of here.
He's super scared.
Take a fucking shotgun. Get out of here.
Guys, Utah, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
let's get through this.
Let's get through this pretty quick, Patty.
Yeah, come on.
It takes me about 2 seconds. Why? Because I went to JMU.
You're a real man.
That's right.
JMU is laying 6.5 points. NC Nick, you're the Sunbelt specialist. Give me Utah State plus 6.5. What are you doing,
man?
Here?
This is a hell of a road trip, and I think people saw Utah State shit the bed against Air Force, and they're going to be very much turned off on that. The line of scrimmage concerns me because we saw Air Force push around Utah State, and JMU does have a good O-line, good D-line. But I think up in Logan's a different thing. So give me the home dog again.
Patty?
Spread them with you guys. But money line, got to go JMU. Here we go.
Oh, man. Is that how they take shotguns at JMU?
Yeah. Is that how they do it at JMU?
Wow, something spills. Hey, we're mad about it. Yeah, you rub it into the tits, and everyone's having a good fucking time.
Oh man! Next up, North Carolina heading to Pitt. Pitt's getting 7.5 points.
Eat shit, Pitt.
No, this is the one they cover. Give me Pitt plus 7.5. Nick, what are you doing here? You're the ACC specialist.
I can't do it, man. So, usually like week 3 or 4, I tend to not overreact over a game or two. I tend to trust my, preseason instincts. This game, we said that we could see UNC dropping this. I don't think so. I can't get behind Pitt. I can't get behind Jerkovsky right now. It's just not happening. Give me UNC.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Lock it up.
Oh, NC Nick, disgusting. A Duke fan locking up the
7.5. 7.5.
I'm taking Pitt. Yeah, what are you doing?
That hook is tempting. I'm gonna bite. I'm biting on that hook. Give me Pitt.
Yeah, this game's fantastic. UCF is heading to the Little Apple. Will Howard might not play. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries. So's the
Rice Plumlee's out.
This is pretty easy with that.
Trayshawn Ward's out too.
Yeah, Trayshawn Ward, the running backs.
Yeah, K-State on a fucking get right spot.
I'm still taking K-State minus 3.5
all day. Lock it up.
Yeah,
the number keeps dropping for some reason. Explain to me. Like, look, both quarterbacks are out. Why does this number keep on dropping?
Yeah, and what was it? Avery Johnson. What the hell is his name? The backup quarterback.
What you got to do is you got to make shots.
Yeah, I think. It's Avery Johnson. I'm right. Yeah, I'm on board. Let's go.
Let's go.
K-State minus the points.
Oh, lock, just because UCF looks pretty damn good right now. But I will take K-State.
Yeah. K-State minus the points. Let's go. I know Garrett's talking about all these injuries. Chris Kleiman will figure it out. Have faith.
Well, it's not like UCF doesn't have injuries also.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Losing Plumlee pretty fucking big.
Yeah. Speaking of locks, I'm going to continue on this lock journey. UNLV is heading into UTEP. UNLV is laying 2.5. The running Rebs. I was impressed with that Vanderbilt game. UTEP sucks ass. UNLV is winning this matchup that goes all the way back to 1978. UNLV has a 4-game lead, making a 5-game lead.
Dude, Barry Odom doing
coming with me?
Quick work.
NC Nick, you've hated.
I'm taking UNLV. I mean, UTEP does.
You're
suck,
not locking
I'm
it?
not. I can't. I'm not betting on UNLV football. You crazy?
Not locking UNLV football, but they're playing pretty well. Gotta go. What are they running reps?
Yeah. Well, look, since you guys don't have any cojones to lock up games, I'm going to continue this lock journey. What if I told you the last 4 matchups between Cal and Washington have all been by a score or less, and most of them were like 2-point games, 3-point games. They're getting 21 in Seattle. I will take the California Golden Bears plus 21.5 points.
Yeah.
And I do think they might be live. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
That's right. Because Washington has been like
everyone's crowning Washington as the national
once
champs.
that dam breaks, Washington runs it the fuck up. To their credit, we might as well. Don't leave it in jeopardy. But Cal's not going to let that happen.
21 fucking
That's
points.
so many points.
Lock it up.
All right, fine.
Let's go. Triple lock.
Triple lock.
Let's go. Now we're talking. Where the hell is this? Where the hell is my song here? It's way down here.
Friends through eternity, loyalty, honesty will stay together through thick or thin. Friends forever will be together.
Cut it off. So bad. Next up, Kent State heading into the Valley to take on Fresno State. Fresno's laying 28 points. I'll lay it. I don't feel great about it, but I'll lay it. Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm a little worried because Fresno's gotten up for the P5 opponents. They almost lost to Eastern Washington in that sandwich spot, but you're not gonna bet on or pick Kent State going on the road here. So give me Fresno.
Patty?
Central Kent's win over Central Connecticut hasn't proven enough to me. We're all over Fresno here.
The fake Blue Devils.
That's right.
USC is laying 35 in Tempe. Whew.
Lay it. Arizona State sucks ass.
At what point do they call off the dogs, though? Give me
USC.
Give me Arizona State plus
number
35.
one scoring.
I agree.
Give me the 35.
USC is at Colorado next week. Big noon. They're looking at that game.
You think they're gonna pump the brakes because Colorado's got to shaking in their boots after?
No. They're
Colorado
overlooking this game because they know that next week they're on the big stage where they can make a major statement, game. And so yeah,
maybe a little bit.
Completely overlooking Arizona State.
Arizona State sucks. They can overlook them and still beat them by 50. Give me USC.
That's very possible.
I'm on the Sun Devils. Doesn't feel good, but I'm on the Sun Devils.
Right.
And the final game on the slate, New Mexico State heading to the island where
It's a hard ticket to Hawaii. It's not paradise all the time.
Hawaii is laying 3. I'll lay the 3. They get it done. I know Hawaii's top tackler's out for the year, but I think
Schrager
bombs is going to get it done.
They must have ran out of Red Bull in Eugene last week. And then they also ran out of Red Bull against Stanford at home a few weeks ago. I don't know. I'm taking the points here. I'm going to Diego Pavia, big game.
10th all-time matchup on the island. New Mexico State is 1-8 all-time. Their one win was last year. Nobody wins twice at the Ching Complex Center. All right.
Hey, Shager, 3rd in the nation in passing yardage. That machine is just getting rolling for Timmy Chang in the Ching Chang Center.
Yes, nobody goes into the Ching Chang Center, folks. Look, I actually think this is going to be a game. What's going on with the what? Oh,
there we go. Adolf Dassler. Yeah, his name's Adolf. That should tell you everything you fucking need to know. Adidas is named after fucking Adolf.
I thought Volkswagen had a checkered past, but I guess Adidas does too.
Yeah. Well, and Coca-Cola too. I do have Adidas on.
Look. Mercedes fucking Nazis.
Do you know the story about Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola, no.
So Coca-Cola was selling in Germany and Italy, and during World War II, all the Americans pulled their products from all those countries, and then
Coke was like, nah.
No, Coke goes, let's create a fake company called Fanta and sell it over there to stay, making that cash. Scumbags.
Yeah. How many fucking scumbags? But the Washington Redskins can't exist because these corporations said so.
Yeah, because Coca-Cola is backing the Commander's name. Fucking ridiculous, folks.
Idiots.
Subscribe to the College Football Experience. That's our show. A little off the wheels. I like this. I blame that all on Weehawk. Shout out to Weehawk though. The shirt's fantastic. I love the retro helmet. And appreciate the moonshine, brother. Appreciate the whole chat rocking along with us. Subscribe if you can to the College Football Experience. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Not enough people doing that. Those things are just hard to come by. Hard to come by. So also give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. NC Nick's on Twitter at NC__NICK. And also, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. We host not only that, the FCS college football experience, the college football experience, the college basketball experience, the college baseball experience with Noah Beanick behind the scenes, also doing great work. And the Big 12 experience, Moneyline Mac killing it here. So check out them and company, Big 12 experience. Those are all separate feeds. We come together on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Folks, the Sports Gambling Podcast is going to be going live in about 25 minutes.
Woo!
So you don't need to turn us off. All right. Just keep rolling through the night. Sports Gambling Podcast coming up next. Get the SGPN app. Come talk college football with us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Until next time, we'll see you in Laramie, or the pregame show will happen in Laramie. All right. And tomorrow I got, we're still going to do the Weekend Bombs edition with CJ Sullivan. Until next time though, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.